Well, obviously, there's nobody in here just yet. This is the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel. Thank you for everyone who comes through. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for anyone who's here today when you do come. I do fragrance reviews. You can call me Andrew. That's my actual first name. You can call me Douglas. Either one works for me. At the end of the day, I like it all. I don't really care. You can call me Fluffy if you want. But with that being said, if you're new here, if you come through and watch this back later, I do fragrance reviews here on this channel. I talk about other things. Recently, I've been doing a little series where we just discuss life. Hey, buddy, what's up, John? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Super happy to see you, my friend, as always. But yeah, anybody who new comes through, just let you know before we get started, this is what I do. Anybody's welcome to talk about life. You can come join my other streams if you ever need to talk about things, but it's just a good community that we have here, and everybody's welcome to ask questions. Good morning, Armand. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so very much. Happy Saturday, like I said to you, John, and I hope y'all have a great day. We got me and my wife got some friends coming over today, so I figured I'd get started a little extra early this morning. Also got some pretty good updates. Not that anybody necessarily would know other than you guys, but the channel is getting very, very close to a goal that I've been working at for a while. I found out this morning, I went back and looked, and I have a total of 77 live streams under my belt in the past 3 months. And that's pretty awesome for me. I never had streamed before. I started 3 months ago, and I've now got 77 streams done. I have a total of 237 accumulated hours that I've gained from the channel so far of doing that. So it's really neat. It's cool to see that I was able to start doing it just one day for fun on top of my regular reviews. And I got to meet you guys and talk with you guys. So it's really crazy to me that 77 little streams now I've spent with variations of y'all coming through and talking. And it's been super meaningful because this has been a passion and a dream of mine for a very long time in my life. And I'm going to keep just seeing what happens next. So it's a good time to stream. 6 p.m. in India. That's awesome. Well, cool. That makes me very happy that this is like a good time for you. I'm still trying to figure out when like the best windows is to actually hang out with you guys and do these kinds of streams because I got people from different places. I don't say that in an egotistical sense, like that I have a lot of fans or nothing. I don't have that. But you guys who come through are from India, from different places in the Middle East, from here in America and stuff. So just trying to get a grasp on what's good. Just got the Sephora sampler set between Bad Boy Cobalt and JPG Elixir. For me personally, I'm always going to go back towards JPG Elixir. Bad Boy Cobalt's cool, but it's just not quite my style. Um, and with that being said, though, always JPG Elixir is one of my absolute favorites. So just throwing it out there. So I'm going to be a little bit biased in that sense. But I'm going to go check out Cobalt again, maybe sometime this weekend. I haven't smelled it in a long time, so I don't really have the best grasp of what it feels like. It's a good time to stream. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here again. If you're new, you can call me Andrew. That's my actual first name, or you can call me Douglas. Either way, this is the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel where I do fragrance live streams and fragrance reviews. I hang out. We talk about whatever you guys want to. You're free to ask me questions. Just as a disclaimer ahead of time, and I will repeat this multiple times throughout the stream for new folks, I'm not sponsored. I'm not paid to do any of this. I get all these myself, and I give you my. There are sponsored people who, as well, give their honest thoughts and opinions. I just buy all these, so I don't really have a stake in the game. I'm not being coerced to say nothing. I just tell you guys what I think. And hopefully that means something to you because for me, when I watch people as well like that, it means something to me to get people's honest thoughts before I give consideration to even trying something. And also, one more disclaimer if you ask me about something, please, I'll never encourage you to blind buy anything. I would always like you, if you can, to go to certain websites and get samples and stuff like this, little sample travel bottles. To really try stuff out before you spring and buy it because a lot of perfumery is very expensive. Even dupes and cheapies really add up. So that's just disclaimer up front before I really get too cranking with this. But again, please feel free to ask questions. What I want to do right now, what I intend to do with a good chunk of this video is to go back through because this past week, for the first time, I have a really hard time making a list of my favorite things. The reason that I have a hard time with that is favorites is difficult when it comes to stuff like this for somebody like me because there's so many things I like. Different days as well, you kind of shift around and there's things you'll come to feel like have a connection to, whereas other days you don't. So for me, it definitely takes a while to sit down and say, what is really something, if I had to choose, what would be something I would never give up? So like if somebody I'm not gonna say that. If somebody forced me and said, you got 5 fragrances to choose from for the rest of your life, what would you pick? Sometimes it's a little difficult to say that because there's so many that maybe you actually love and have an attachment to. Well, I made a top 30 just trying to really go like off the cuff and say with what connects to me the other day. And I did that. And now I want to spend some time going back through that a little bit because I spent more time with that skeleton and smelling, and I think this will even alter some more in the future. Again, it really depends on how I feel. But just for me personally, I kind of want to talk about how things got a little bit rearranged and go from there. My Sharif blend, Zemaya, just came in. It's absolutely fantastic. Heck yeah, I haven't smelled that myself. What's up, Omar? I know how much you like rose, so I think you should get Gucci Guilty EDP, as it has the most beautiful rose note I have smelled. I definitely have smelled that one before, and it is really, really nice. It's not my favorite, but it is really nice. I'm actually wearing a rose fragrance today that I really love, and it's on my top 30 list, which also kind of shifted just a little bit about where it's at. And that would be this. So this is Boadicea the Victorious is Ardent. I'll talk a little bit more about it here in a second. This is one of my favorites of all times when it comes to having a rose note. So it's basically at the top, you've got a good combination of things like it says carrot seed, as well as it has your typical Turkish rose and a rose absolute in the middle, saffron. There's patchouli, there's vanilla and agarwood, which is oud at the base, running through it, giving it some density, but it's very creamy, just very nice, beautiful, more luxurious style, straight to the point, sweet rose. So rose absolute's already very sweet if it hasn't been filtered through a certain process that kind of extracts some of its natural scent. So this has got a beautiful rose absolute in the middle, and then at the top Turkish rose. I really like the again, the more that I ramble a lot, so you're going to get to know a lot, hopefully. And I'm not a professional. It's just stuff I love to learn, to research, and study. This means a lot to me. So Turkish rose and different forms of rose, Damascena, and all this different stuff, like they have a different compounds and feel to them. Also understanding that perfumers a lot of the time are taking a little bit of naturals and then adding in and creating what they call accords, so their own versions, their own signatures and compounds. So that's what hopefully you're going to get where things don't smell generic and basic. Not that that's always a bad thing, but definitely this is one of my absolute favorites, and this is what I wore today. Super strong, so that's why I probably shouldn't have chose that on a day where I'm going to be revisiting things and getting a grasp for it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you for your suggestions. You guys are always welcome. This is a community. It's not just about me. So you guys are always welcome to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. So what I thought I would do to start with is kind of do a revamped. Oh wow, I can't believe that's in there. I like to say, as you guys will see if you go back and look at my live streams, there's a lot of times that the photos from my videos will be like memes and stupid junk that I found on the internet. And this one's one I saved this morning. I don't know why. It's just funny to me, but it's really. Uh oh, my little light died. How you like them apples? I literally charged that the other day. But anyway, this one is a silly little photo of Charlie Kirk. No offense to him necessarily speaking. I just thought it was funny. But anyway, with that being said, no politics or nothing involved here. But I am going to be taking you through. I guess my light does not want to stay on, but that's okay. So I'm going to be taking you through my 30 from the other day, kind of giving you the order of it. So that way, when we reread through it, you're going to see how as I spent more time with my list, it kind of positioned itself. I also, at the suggestion of some of you guys, started at 30 and worked my way down. So I think that's what I'm going to do today. What do you think of AF9 9 p.m.? It's not quite my favorite. Just being completely sincere. I'm not a big proponent for dupes and cheapies in general, depending on how they were done. Some of them are very well. Some of them I do appreciate. Like, for instance, I love Altair by Parfums de Marly, but Eagle Star, Hot Lodge Vanilla Dunes, Liquid Broom, they actually, made it kind of unnecessary to have the original. But a lot of times I'm just not a big dupe and cheapy person because for me, if you do actually expose yourself to saving up the money and getting higher quality perfumery, if you're really into perfumery that way, if you just like having a collection, that's your decision. But no offense at all, it's my opinions. But I don't really encourage people in that direction. So that's just, I talk a lot, I over explain things. No, that's just how I am. It's okay if you guys don't like that. But so 9 p.m. is one of those ones where it's just bubblegummy cheap to me. It's a good performer. Not going to say it's not for a lot of people. At least I don't know if it's still that way. But I had a bottle a while back, and I've smelled all of them except for the elixir one that came out not long ago. But yeah, it's not my style. But there's no offense to anyone. If I ever don't like something, you guys are totally welcome to disagree. But yeah, 9 p.m. is not quite my thing. Reflection Man and Elysium similar. Never smelled either. Very interested. Well, this is just going to be my opinion, but not quite. I don't really see it that way, but that's just to my nose. I like Reflection Man quite a bit more. I actually intend to get Reflection, is it, I know 53 is what I got at the interlude. I can't remember, is it 45, something like that? I do intend to finally get my actual self a full bottle of the higher concentration of Reflection pretty soon. I actually like the original a little bit more. It's just my taste, but I think it'd be nice to have it here to do a real full review for. So I kind of weave in and out of bottle reviews versus sample reviews, and I think that one I'd like to have a bottle for because it's so beautiful. The OG Jeremy praised the cheapy Nautica Voyage a lot. Have you tried it? I have, and again, it's one of those ones that's pretty decent. Not my absolute favorite. It's just one of those classic fragrances. Kind of like I when I was younger, I really loved Cool Water, and I also loved the Intense version. It was pretty fun for a younger person or anybody. You're allowed to like what you like, but again, I'm going to give you my personal thoughts and opinions, so please feel free to share yours. But yeah, Nautica Voyage is okay. It's not something I would ever buy again with the way that like I have the collections I have now. But for a younger person, or if you just really like that profile, you're more than welcome to buy it. Top three fragrances. I like. That's a good little collection you got there. I will get to my top. Oh, my top three green fragrances. That's a hard one because I'm not actually the biggest fan of green fragrances, to be honest with you. To a degree, I like some, but I'm not the hugest fan of those being on my list. Jigglypuff's the bomb. What's up, buddy? So like cucumbers and salt water. I can understand that. That's actually kind of sort of what they were going for there. What version of Bleu de Chanel? Parfum. Always a parfum. The Eau de Parfum is pretty good, but for me personally, I just suggest people to get the Parfum edition. Nice, rich sandalwood going on underneath, and it just kind of has more density to it that I personally like. Just my opinions. That's what I share here, but I love you guys as having your own differentials and stuff. Eros, Energy, or Flame? Definitely Flame. So with that being said, I'm going to do my best. You'll see I talk a little fast sometimes, and that's not for everybody, and that's okay because there's lots of channels out there. But if you do ask questions, I'm going to do my absolute best to answer them and keep up with you guys. But I am going to go through my list and explain to you the list I had before, and then I'm going to go through the way I kind of altered it a little bit. Pacific Chill have a cucumber smell to it. Not quite in a way that like Nautica Voyage is, but also I'm just gonna throw this out there again. You guys will probably yield to the comments about stuff from Louis Vuitton because I say this a lot. I'm just not a Louis Vuitton fan. Other than I have re-smelled again, and I am kind of into Ombre Nomad. Flame, definitely. I have not smelled Najim. I want to remind you guys, though, if you do ask me about a fragrance, I'm Douglas Moon. I'm a fragrance reviewer. I have a rule of three on my channel. So before I review fragrances and before I will actually really give my thoughts on them, I'll tell you a superficial thought. But in the comments here, if you guys ask me something, I have a rule of three, and what that means is no test strips. If I haven't tried something on my skin at least three occasions to see performance and longevity, sillage, as well as really getting to know the notes, the composition, does it break down, does it stay linear, all that stuff. If I haven't really experienced a fragrance reacting with my hormones and then how it just is as a whole, I don't really like to give my thoughts about it too much because it's kind of easy to like be superficial and then change your mind later. I've had that experience. You probably had that experience. So that's just me telling you how I work. If somebody asks a question in the comments and I don't see it, please feel free to post it again. Don't spam. If somebody asks a question about fragrance and I say I don't know, because you'll hear me say that quite often, you guys suggest a lot of really cool stuff. But you do know about that fragrance, please feel free to share your thoughts. You're all welcome to do that. Your channel has recovered from when you made a video about the promote button. I do not, I think in a way, but the only thing that's really helped a lot is actually doing these streams. So I will say these streams has actually helped the most. That is the biggest thing is doing these streams has gone the longest way, not just with helping the channel continue to develop, but even more so to get to meet people. So before, when I was trying to grow this channel, a lot of it, by the way, Versace Fresh is something I'm not really a big fan of, just throwing it out. But thank you for asking. So remember, fragrances are subjective. I work around fragrances, but it's mostly for a candle maker supply company. So what me and my love for perfumery that I've had since I was young is unrelated to any professional career other than doing reviews here on YouTube. So I expose myself to as much as I can to get a real feel for what's my thing. But just throwing this out there, it's not exactly, it's still going to be my thoughts versus yours, and it's okay if we disagree. That's the good thing about art. Getting into unique and luxury fragrances. Yeah, definitely encourage people. This is one thing you also hear me say a lot. Like I said, there's good, cheap fragrances, there's good dupes out there, but the sponsored channels, the channels who get sent a bunch of free crap and get paid to just shove it in your face so you impulsive buy a bunch of crap, really dumb, really unnecessary. Not, it's very dishonest. There are good channels out there, and I hope to become to like really come off as one of them because it's something that's like important for me. I just want to express this is that it is more worth it to save your money because you can do that instead of impulse buying. It's unhealthy anyways with like buying a bunch of junk food. Again, not that there's not good, cheap, these are dupes, but I am who I am. I'm just going to share this. It's much more important to save your money. You do not need a massive collection like this. This is for reviews. You need things that really speak to you and help you express yourself, not just to appeal. It's like kind of like changing your personality to just appeal to everyone. That's not how it works. Get to know you and then share you as you are and find out what that is. And that can take time. It can be cheap stuff, expensive, or a blend. But definitely try to save your money and buy things that really mean something to you. Again, even if it is a cheap bottle. So I'm an over explainer. It is. It's just how it is. It's how it goes. Killian's Angel Share Digging the Dahmer glasses. I appreciate that. This is just the glasses that I have. Not that there's anything wrong with what you just said. I think they're funny. I've even played into that joke a lot in the past, but I have been hearing that for a while, and I just like these glasses. But I feel like Dahmer would wear Jupe on. Huh? That's an interesting thought. I don't know about that. I don't know if I think he would wear Jupe on. I wonder. I feel like he is potentially. So he might like something a little more earthy, a little more stinky. So honestly, Hyatt by Zerjoff actually might be a Dahmer thing. If he, I don't encourage killing people, but if we were just like to make a theoretical statement here, I feel like he might like something like Hyatt by Zerjoff because it's really stinky oud and as much exposure as we at least know that he had to like discussing or what's that one Secretions Magnifique by that brand. I can never say their name properly. I feel like that weird fragrance might be something a little more his speed. So I'm about to do my original point for this, but like I said, I keep up with you guys' comments. I appreciate you guys for being here. It means nothing if you don't come through. Just want to throw this out there though. Be respectful to each other, or you're gonna get blocked from the chat. Be respectful to me, or you're gonna get blocked from the chat. There's no point. I don't care. It's not impressing anyone. If anybody ever comes through trying to troll, nobody really gives a crap. My mods will get rid of you. So if you're here, it's just about having a community and talking about our love for fragrances and all that good stuff. So if you don't like it, you don't have to be here. So with that being said, so just to go back through my list before, some of this is going to be the same, and then there's going to be you might notice differences. So to start with, at number 30, I had Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Parfum, not the collector's edition, the original Parfum. I absolutely love that one. It's a huge. Oh wait a minute, you're a fragrance formulator. Appreciate your work. Thank you, Jared. That really makes me happy. Dude, just throwing this out there. I know again it's probably driving people crazy. I just derailed, but it is what it is. We're not on the tracks perfectly here. Just want to ask, do you work for any particular company or do you make stuff yourself? But if so, I'd love to talk with you. Please feel free to message me on Instagram. I love talking with people who do this kind of thing. But yeah, getting back to it. So Club de Nuit Intense Parfum, not the collector's edition. I prefer the pure Parfum edition. It's just my taste. Just a little differences. Kind of hard to explain. It's just a taste thing. But that has been my number 30. And on my new list, it actually still stays there because I enjoy it a lot. I don't care for much for Creed Aventus. Creed did a really good thing for the community, creating what they did back when they did. We all know Creed problems. It's not like it's a secret that Creed's really fallen off the wayside. But Creed Event, excuse me, the Intense Parfum by Club de Nuit, just to me kind of speaks to me in a way that I really enjoy. I think it's fantastic. The performance is there. It overall just has that well-rounded feel. I did not like the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum, from what I can remember. I still stand to that. But in this case, that one I love it enough that I put it on the list. 29, I actually tossed this in there, and I really regret that I put this on this number before, but I put Alexandria 2. And I talked quite a bit about Alexandria 2 by Zerjoff before because I spoke about how when I originally did my review a while back, so I always film multiple videos ahead of time when I do my actual reviews. And so, first and foremost, it was way, way earlier than this that I filmed the video, but even by the time that I put it out, I like showing how people can change and things can, you rediscover stuff. Maybe you shouldn't force yourself to like something, but sometimes exposure to different work and really kind of getting your nose trained, your olfactory system to different chemical compounds and stuff, different makeups can really shift what you like, what you don't like. So Alexandria 2 by Zerjoff, I hated when I first ever came across it because it was super different than the designer freshness that I kind of had gotten used to before. Well, at this point, it's definitely one of my favorites of all time. But when I was making the original list, again, I have a really hard time picking favorite things, especially when I'm trying to like kind of hurry and really think, and our moods change every day. So I put it at number 29. You'll see that has changed, but that's where I did it before. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Pure Parfum, more oak moss and earthy than a limited. Kind of, sort of, I would say so. I got Vanilla Dunes, one right behind you also. Yeah, Vanilla Dunes is definitely a really good take. I think it's more of a little bit of a sweet, youthful take, whereas Eagle Star is more in the center, and then again, Vanilla Dunes is a little bit more on the floral side. So kind of depending on what you're into, will be which one you get. But yeah, I prefer the Pure Parfum, and it's got that nice richness to it. I have my own brand and do formula work from influencer at the present. My big thing is naturals. I'd love that. I'd love if you reach out. It'd make me very happy. I'd like to talk to you about it. Again, I'm just throwing this out there. I don't I would not be against any time that anybody wants to reach out and discuss things. And I love talking about different people's perfumery, but just making this clear, and you seem like a very sincere person and a passionate person. I do not ever lie about fragrances for money or sponsorships or anything like that. So if I check anything out, you're not asking this. I just want this to be very clear if you come to my channel. And if any people out there has your own company and you're considering sending things to influencers, please keep it honest. Let your work speak for itself. And that should really do a lot for it. If you really care about what you do, like it seems this person does, and it should be able to stand out regardless of people's opinions or not, instead of paying people to lie, which a lot of companies, unfortunately, very do. Absolutely. Integrity is like the absolute number one. 9 p.m. Elixir, I have not tested that yet. But yeah, I'd love to speak with you, my friend. So 27, wait, 28. Parfums and Marley's Percival. That is a fragrance I really love. It is very much generic to an extent. So classic, bright citrus, shower jelly, good for a spring day, good for a beach day type of fragrance. Not aquatic, really, just necessarily more of a nice, sharp shower jelly man's classic fragrance, citrus. A little bit luxurious, but for the most part, just very to that basic line. But it has distinctness to it that I would separate way different from like the cool water feel. Something you kind of got to smell to experience what I really mean by that. Because again, to a lot of people, when you smell it, first impression, even third impression, still basic quality. When I mean, I don't mean to be offensive. Lots of great fragrances. When I mean basic, is just very typical early 90s or 80s type of feel perfumery, but I like it. Percival brings me a lot of joy, and I can see why a lot of people would be like, well, you don't need it because of the price, but the performance and so forth, compared to a lot of citrus-based sharp fragrances like that, fail a lot. And for me, even a newer formulation of Percival does an excellent job, and I've got horrible skin, so definitely really like Percival a lot. Hey Jeff, super happy to see you here. Any samples, get feedback? Absolutely, and I appreciate so much for being here. Any of you guys, if you ever want to like ask questions, talk about stuff or whatever, I'm not the best at responding all the time, but please feel free to like find me on Instagram. You don't got to follow. You don't have to do any of that stuff. I'm never encouraging people to subscribe because if it's not for you, it's not for you. But feel free. I will encourage you guys though, if you enjoy being here and talking with me, to hit the like button. And the reason I do that, I hate the salesman mentality, but it is a channel I'm hoping to develop and grow. So that's the only thing that really helps these streams get put out there. So if you're enjoying yourself, if you're not, that's fine. And if you are, hit the like button because it helps a lot. But a lot of times people come through and enjoy themselves in the comments, but they won't really do that, and it's just for like the purposes of the channel that helps. But yeah, Aaron Terrence Hughes Guapo is the same fragrance, but way better. Colin, thank you for saying that. I haven't got the chance to try Guapo yet, so I actually just got my first batch of Aaron Terrence Hughes fragrances. He's my biggest inspiration. Last year, when I was like continuing to develop my collection and I wanted to start to see, instead of going and testing at the stores all the time, I kind of just wanted to do the thing that a lot of people do. I wanted to look up fragrances, see what anybody's thoughts was. That's when I quickly became across like all the bull crap, all the salesman stuff that really upsets me, because there's an incredible amount of people who are just being pushed to impulse buy junk because it's just what they get paid to do, to push it on you and tell you that it's fantastic when it's not. But I came across Aaron's channel and I started watching it, and I was like, this just brings me a lot of joy. I can see the passion here. I don't care what anybody says about him. I just don't. I've done my research. I've seen my time. I really respect him, and he inspired me so deeply. I'm not a perfumer myself, so when I talk about stuff, it's the same type of idea. I'm not a top 10 channel. I know this is a top 30 favorite fragrances stream, but when I do my reviews, it is always one fragrance. I talk about all the same stuff, performance, longevity, but just much more from a consumer stance and less of a, like a perfumer stance. So, and how it makes me feel, and then also, is it worth the money? Performance and all that crap. So if you're into that, please stick around. If not, that's okay. If you want to go for the sensational stuff, there's a lot of people doing that. But yeah, it really speaks to me. And I really was happy to get some of his fragrances and to really have time to test them. And just an announcement, I got Unicorn Elixir. Very, very excited. Very, very excited to talk about that one when I get the chance to do so. But we'll get to that at a later time. But yeah, do you like Bad? I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Bad Boy or, oh, really, Azaro fragrances, Carolina Herrera. There's a handful of houses that's really not my thing, just being honest. I can see why people love them, and they are great for what they are, especially the price range, but not my style. There's a lot of those brands of that type that just they don't really speak to me. So I like saying whether it was made well or not, but it's just not quite for me. 90% of my collections from John Pop. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you just building up testers and travel bottles and sample sprays because, again, depending on the price that you pay for them, you can get a long way with having just a nice little collection of stuff until you find something that really speaks to you. So I always encourage people, please don't don't blind buy. Wow, don't blind buy crap. You can see I get tongue twisted. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not. It's just how I am. I'm not going to keep it real and be me here, so that way when we get to know each other better, especially if you come to the streams, it's all about getting to know each other more. It's just that we're very sincere with each other. Favorite freshies of all time, I will get to that. My favorite horrible skin, absolutely, Colin. I'm super happy that you're here. I have a 10 mil of Louis Vuitton lovers. I want to like it, but the harsh note. What do you think? So I actually haven't smelled that one. I don't know, how I would feel about it, but like I said, Louis Vuittons to me are just across the board for the most part, just a little bit way too pricey to me for what they are valued at, for what the quality of, like, I don't know. Again, I know people really love them, so I don't say that to be offensive or outrageous or nothing. They're not for me. So some of my favorite reviewers even really like certain Louis Vuittons, but other than Ombre Nomad, because I love rose, I love dark and rich fragrances, but most of the Louis Vuitton stuff just ain't for me at all, and I just don't think it's worth the money. But a lot of people disagree, and that's okay. So, but I'm going to continue forward. So, going through one more time, Club de Nuit Intense Parfum, number 30. Alexandria 2 was 29. 28 was Percival, Parfums de Marly. Number 27 on the original list was Herba Pura by Zerdov. I love it. A lot of people are like, it's too feminine. First and foremost, you can wear whatever you'd like. If you connect to something, don't let that get in the way. But if your natural senses just are put off by something, I can get that. It's very fruity. It's very bright. Very good lasting, like most Zerdov. Zerdov's my favorite fragrance house. I think they just do the best work to me personally across the board. But in general, that one just really speaks to me. I love it. It's the perfect summer fragrance. And when people ask me for a summer fragrance, I don't recommend that one to start with. There's other ones that I go for instead because of mass appeal. But yeah, for when it comes down to it, I love Herba Pura. Number 26, I had put Eros Flame by Versace, one of my favorite Eros line fragrances, and I think that it's incredible. It took what the original had, that creamy woodiness with a top note, but shifted it to a nice blood orangey kind of feel, and I think it's fantastic. I think it performs like a monster, and not like a monster. I think it performs very well. I shouldn't say that because monster is like a whole different level. I think it performs very well for what it is, like a lot of the rest of the whole rest of basically of the Eros line, and I love Eros Flame. Number 25, I had originally. Remember, this is my old list from like last week when I didn't spend as much time. And again, even the new list might change eventually. I'll spend the next month going through it and really thinking how I feel about it. 25, I put Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. I like Habit Rouge, or I'm not French, Habit Rouge, however you say it. But to me personally, I think that this one's my favorite of the bunch that I've tried. There's other ones I haven't got my hands on yet, but this is where I put this at that time. The next one I definitely believe deserved to be higher up, but I think I can't remember if I readjusted it. But at this point, I had put in 24 Parfums de Marly Carlisle. Again, very fantastic fragrance. Not my favorite of the line, especially the more dense, dark, rich ones, but it's still something that like I would not want to have to. I'm going to go forward now, but let me read your comments. Always trying to keep up with you guys. What do you think about Louis Vuitton Meteor or Meteor? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't tried. There's lots of fragrances I haven't tried. I think I have 145 that I still have to do reviews for, and even then, that doesn't scratch the surface. It blows my mind that in the fragrance world, now keep in mind, a lot of stuff can smell similar, but at this moment, I think there's over 40,000 registered. Is it 40,000? There's an incredible amount. I don't know if I'm inflating it. It was either 4,000 or 40. No, that's way more than that. It's like 40,000 or so, I think, registered, like legally documented fragrances that exist in a database, like worldwide at this point that we know of, and there's way more that's not. It's just insane to think of how many like we'll never get to smell. If you're a fragrance lover, there's just so much you'll never even get a chance to experience, and it blows my mind that there's just a lot out there. Eros is good, but it didn't last on my skin. That's interesting. I mean, I guess again, it's different for everybody. I personally got horrible skin, so I like to believe when something works for me, hopefully it'll work for others, as well as there's different things we as nosmic to. For instance, I'm going to talk about this more in a little bit, and I filmed a review for it the other day, but one of my absolute favorites of all time now, Athena by Aaron Terrence Hughes. One of the most beautiful rose fragrances I've ever got to smell. And I put this on, and for some strange reason, this particular things about the compounds of it, I went blind to within 30 minutes or so. I absolutely loved it when I sprayed it on, but I just got adjusted to it and nearly couldn't smell it on me. I thought, oh my God, my favorite dude made something that just doesn't work. And then all day though at work, as I walked past people, they could smell it. And when I held my arm up from like this far off, all my different coworkers could smell it off of me throughout the entire day, but I couldn't smell it. So I was like, huh, so this is interesting. It's one of the few fragrances that happens with me with. But there's just, all of us are different. Certain compounds, like, just work differently for different people, different systems, different noses and whatever. And it's just interesting that that happened. But so that could happen with your situation. But it's also possible that your skin just didn't take, or it was a bad batch. It can happen, unfortunately, especially with the bigger houses sometimes. But yeah, I love Eros Flame, and it does really well for me. So I'm sorry that that happened with you, Colin. Do you like cardamom and fragrances? I do, depending on how it was done. It's kind of like saffron, and especially stuff. Okay, so stuff like nutmeg, oregano, and things like that, pimento berry. There's a lot of things that, if done just right, can be fantastic. Sometimes they can be sickening if they're not done a certain way. So, but I do like cardamom as a whole. What do you think about Gucci Guilty Elixir? It's not for me. I think it's a fantastic formulation, but it smells very similar to Reflection, and then also like a variation of Lamel Le Parfum. So redundant, boring in that sense, because it's excellently done, but it's just like the note profiles have been done perfectly by other companies to a point where it's just kind of like unnecessary, especially because it's not the cheapest thing ever. You could just get Lamella Parfum and be nearly as happy, or again, spring a little extra and get reflections and get like even way better performance based on the person. So just my opinions. But I was really excited when I first smelled Gucci Guilty Elixir, and then I sat there and I was like, wait a minute, I know what this is. And then did a compare and contrast with a sample, and I was like, yeah, but it's cool. It's just not necessary if you get one of the other ones. Molecule 1 is so strong to me, but other family members can't smell it at all. See, that's very interesting. By the way, thank you to every one of you guys who come through here, who comment, ask questions. That's what makes this so meaningful and so important to me. So I really appreciate you guys so very much. I'm going to keep working through the old list before we get to the new one. I know, again, I answer questions, I ramble a lot. It's just how I am. I'm not sorry for it. But yeah, there are fragrances, just like a lot of people at Baccarat Rouge, the Extrait de Parfum and the Eau de Parfum, go blind to it if you wear it quickly, even though other people can smell you from far off. Same thing happens to me. I don't wear it because it's not my style, but my wife does. When I wore it a few times, I went blind to it very quickly. And I was like, this is crap. This is a very expensive fragrance. This is absolute garbage. Like, how could this be? And then my wife put it on, and a few other friends I let try it out. And I was like, holy crap, all day long when they're at a distance, like when I'm not just directly exposed to it, it's a monster. But on me, I was like, so I hate that when it happens. I like fragrances like, interlude, where you can just keep smelling it and it just doesn't stop. But I also really do love a good fragrance. Even if I go nose blind to something, I really love a fragrance when it's absolutely beautiful, and at least I know that other people are appreciating it if it's like that. So, hey, bro, did you try Couch Cologne? I can't believe I said that, but no, I actually have not tried that. So, Parfum, the one with Jason Tatum. I have not tried that, but I'll definitely have to check it out. Thank you for suggesting. What about Light Blue Intense? I actually really love that one. And that's another one of those fragrances. So I wore it again yesterday just to remind myself, is it really what I said? Because I've had a lot of people say that it doesn't do that well for them. So the original light blue obviously wears off pretty fast, although I enjoy it. It sticks to clothes kind of okay. But the O Intense on me sticks to me for some reason all day. Like, I put it on, and about 9.5 hours later, I could still smell it on my actual hand and skin, which is like unique, at least for me, especially with citrus base going on there. But I do know other people who claim that it doesn't work for them that way. I haven't put it on other people and then went back and smelled them to see if they're just blind to it. But I do know, again, it's one of those ones where it's just hit or miss. I don't know why, but it works fantastic for me. Mr. Perfume. Yeah, it's me. How you doing, buddy? I appreciate you. Horrible. I get to see what you said. Nose fatigue is horrible. I feel like your spray routine can make it worse. It can, which is why I don't recommend ever spraying on your chest. Shoulders goes the longest way, is what I've been encouraged to do over and over again. Spray on the shoulders, the pulse points on the sides, and on the back of your neck. So definitely a good chance. If you're trying to test something, do it on your hand or your forearm, especially if you know it's going to be a day where you're not going to get too sweaty, so you can really see in a base note, and then do it again on a day where you are going to get warm and heat up and see how things work. But so that you don't get fatigued, don't do the center of the chest, don't do the center of your neck, because it's just going to go straight up to your nose and you're going to burn right out of it fast. Honestly, I've even known people with Sauvage Elixir that that's happened to, which is crazy, but it has happened. So, have you tried Hot Lodge Gate? I have not, so I'm not sure, my friend. But thank you for asking. You can't imagine all the samples of luxury perfumes I collect. Oh, I bet you've got a bunch. So, going through some more. Number 23 originally was Noir Extreme by Tom Ford. 22 was Stronger With You Parfum. 21, I had put Paco Rabanne 1 Million Elixir. I really enjoy that one. 20, Initio Side Effect. 19, Xerjoff's Torino 23. I'm just going to run through the rest of what my list was and then take you through what it is now that I've had some time to really think about it. 18, Maison Francis Kirkjohn's Grand Soir. 17, Xerjoff's Opera. 16, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Eau Intense. 15, Sauvage Parfum. 14, the one I'm wearing today, Ardent by Boadicea de Victorious. 13, Oud for Greatness. 12, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. 11, 40 Knots by Xerjoff. 10, Reflection by Amouage. 9, Black Iris by Amouage. Parfums de Marley's Leighton at 8. 7, Ombre Leather Parfum by Tom Ford. 6, Parfums de Marley's Herod. Versace Eros Parfum at number 5. Aaron Terrence Hughes' Athena actually for number 4. I'll talk about this more in depth in a second. 3, Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn. 2, La Mel Elixir by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And number 1, Xerjoff's Naxos. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, nothing. I'm not going to say that actually. So, sorry, buddy. I do not speak French at all. My birthday's next weekend. What cologne should I wear? Birthday fragrance. I don't know what you have. Give me a list of 5 things that you have that you would say, like, if you had to choose between them, what you really like. Yesterday, I got to the store. I said, I'm going to buy this and this and this. Hey, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of that. And Colin, absolutely, Black Iris is fantastic. So, I'm going to take you through the way that I have reorganized this list now. And like I said, it is absolutely subject to change. The more I spend time, I really kind of let myself experience it because I've realized it's good to do skeletons. So just like how perfumers sometimes will make fragrances, sometimes they will start off with what we call a skeleton. Kind of like to give you guys a quick advice if you like struggle with organization or focus like I do. Um, Making a skeleton of the plans you intend to have. Like maybe you plan for stuff this weekend with friends. Maybe a lot of times when you do that, stuff time gets away from you and yada yada yada. So sometimes it's really good to just make a skeleton, as we call it, of or like a blueprint of the way things should be, and then you finesse it, as they say. You work through it later and kind of reorganize it to make it more something you really feel comfortable with and connected to, or just kind of wing it. But with this, since I had a skeleton of the way things I liked, I went back and revamped it and did it in a way that I feel more happy with. And even then, I can already say I think some of this, like I said, is going to shift. But give me just a second. Let me make sure everything's okay. Oh, you just getting ready? Mm-hmm. I love you. My wife's out there getting ready. Like I said, we got some buddies coming today. A lot of fun. So with that being said, still at number 30 is Arma Club de Nuit Intense, the Pure Parfum Edition. I always specify that because in case you don't know, the collector's edition parfum is not bad. It's just there are like the mildest variations. Like somebody said earlier, this one has a little bit more. There's like that bright citrus at the top, very good, but you can feel the woods come through in that oak mossy way that I just really enjoy. And to me, it is just again way more enjoyable for me than the real Creed Aventus. I even gave my little sample of that away because it just wasn't my style. Like it was great, but I just don't like when things are that quality level or supposed to be, and they don't perform the way you would hope they would. So now something that you saw before. Don't remember what number it was, but something that before was in a different direction. Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. I did shift it down to it's more down to number 29 for me because I do really love this one. It's I will always talk about how you can wear stuff even if something's like a fall or winter fragrance, you can still gear shift it to any time that really connects to you. This one, on the other hand, really does kind of lean that way. I could see somebody like if they're going to go hang out by a fireplace or excuse me, by like a fire pit with some friends at a bonfire. I could see this being almost had a boo boo there. I could see this being like a nighttime fragrance during the summer, but for the most part, this is definitely more of a winter or fall thing, but even more very distinct. And something about it's just so dark and rich that I could see why other people really love this. Maybe for some people, this could even potentially be like their signature scent. But I love this a lot, but I have like a, be in a very specific mood to want to make this a part of me, expressing it. So that might sound really convoluted and silly, but I definitely realize I love this a lot. I want this in my top 30 for sure. Even if I had 1,000 more fragrances, I think this would still be here. But at this moment, it's just at that place, number 29 for me. So I love it. Definitely enjoy it. Tom Ford's Noir Extreme has found its way. And you will see something very familiar that was in this spot before has now been bumped a little bit ahead of it. Real quick, have I tried Initio Rehab? So I did smell that once, but I don't remember it. Like I said, if I haven't really tested something, I'm not going to give my thoughts too much, but I have tried it. I just don't recall how I felt. I don't like all Initio fragrances, but there are some that I really love, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Next, this is on my list to get a full bottle of. Absolutely, I've got 2 of them right now. Um, Tobacco and Honey yet from Guerlain. It's the same wheelhouse. I haven't tried that one myself. Friend, it's not good. He blindfolded his girlfriend and made her smell perfumes. I'm going to find the smell of perfume if she works in a perfume shop. That's funny. I actually, it's funny. My wife does things the right way, so I'm constantly asking her to please come in here and like go with me and tell me which ones that she thinks is like her favorites. If she was to go in order, like favorites for me, and she does things like I said. She's a lot more patient. So I'm very much like again like a run through stuff and try to just go with it type of thing. Very abrasive in that sense, but if that's even the right word, very gung ho. Whereas she wants to sit and take stuff and kind of really go through it over time and then let it really experience. That's honestly the right way to do things. But sometimes I can just be like very like I'm in a rush even when I'm not. So I look forward to making myself cool down and then we sit everything out and go through it piece by piece. And also I can be very neurotic about keeping things perfect. So the idea of like taking my even though I still got a lot of work to be done, my mind is like flames up when I think about taking all this stuff off the shelves and going through it one by one. Not even everything, just going through this list that I've made. My mind goes, no, it has to be perfect. That's absolutely stupid. That is just the way that I function. And rehab is similar to Tom Ford Noir Extreme, but niche and better quality. Okay, cool. I know one that I do remember that I really liked, but I don't remember much about it. It's strange, but I remember loving it, but I want to check it out again. And it's Blessed Baraka. I really want to check that one out again. But yeah, so moving forwards, Performance of Marley's Percival actually was 29 before, I believe. Now I have bumped it up to 28. Still really love it. Again, very generic but with a twist. To me, worth it. Fantastic performance and stuff, but not worth being like much higher on the list at this point. That could shift at some point. I love it. Number 27, I actually have Dior Sauvage Parfum because that was much higher, but I realized I love that one. Dior Sauvage is it's just like cool to hate on Sauvage because it became whatever. But other than the EDT, which is still decent, but it's much more of a young man's fragrance. I think that again, Sauvage Parfum is very rich, very strong, masculine. Although anybody can wear whatever they like. I love it. It's fantastic performance, great for the price that you get. So that's what I put on my list, and I keep it there. And it's good for all weather to some degree or another, depending on the person. Some people, like Aaron Terrence Hughes, says it's much more of a evening or fall fragrance type of deal, kind of, sort of. But I think you can wear it whenever you want to, even in the heat. I like it, but that's just me. Next up is in the same family, Sauvage Elixir. I know. Once again, one of those played out ones that everybody thinks of as very overrated, but it's not. I love this one. And again, even some of the people I look up to were not a big fan of it. But it's one of the first super strong fragrances I ever got my nose on, ever bought a bottle of. And it really does perform the way that it's always rumored to perform. If you have it in your collection, if you like that kind of thing, definitely cardamom heavy, definitely spice heavy and rich and dense. And it's not going to quit. It's on the same performance scale as your Amouage interlude and things along those lines. And so it's pricier. It's definitely up on a more price range than you're going to pay for other types of things in that same caliber from the store. But I think it's worth it to me personally. And you can find it on discounters for really good prices for the most part. So for me, I have it number 26. I've got Dior Sauvage Elixir. I think it's fantastic. It's not something I grab every day, but I will say to me personally, this is much more towards that fall winter thing. Whereas Dior Sauvage Parfum, I'd wear whenever. This is not something I would probably recommend doing that with, unless it's just your taste profile. So next up, you talked about Guerlain. Definitely. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme has still found its way into my list. It's always going to be here. I don't remember what number it was before, but I think it actually moved down a little bit, just a smidge. This is incredible, though. I don't remember exactly what the notes are, and because I don't quite have the time, I'm not going to go through all of that today. You can look these up if you would like to. Before, when I did my top 30, I was kind of breaking down every single fragrance, but it started to get a little bit long-winded, and I don't kind of want to just like break all your time today. But this has a earthy, woodsy, with a nice little fruity quality at the top. Just overall takes a nice classic men's fragrance profile, something very fantastic for the office, but with good performance. Not like a monster, but still noticeable and appreciable, and more of that regal type of feel to it. Guerlain's Lonely Deal Extreme is very much something I've come to appreciate. I look forward to trying more from this house. This is a company that when I started to, there's a book when you wanted to get interested in perfumery. something that they steer you towards. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to find it and tell you guys about it if you're interested. But it's kind of like to gear shift you towards the history and development of modern perfumery. And a very long time ago, Guerlain was one of the first fragrance houses to kind of really start to get into that market where fashion and fragrance started to become integrated to lead us kind of towards where we are today. Instead of all these little tiny perfume houses doing the things they used to do, like actual little shops just doing what they did with chemists and perfumers. So this is definitely a very classic company, and they did a fantastic job with L'Homme Ideal Extreme, and it is up there at my number 25. Next up is one that again might find its way much higher for me down the road, and I will honestly say, you see this as a Zerjoff, so it's not like I'm trying to keep this I got you secret, but this is my number 24, and I love this one. Of the entire line of this particular style, this is my favorite so far. I've tried the newest one. It just, actually, it's my least favorite of the bunch, but this is Torino 23 by Zerjoff. This one, as you know, I love things that have rose in it. I love that they added it in here, but it has a brightness and almost like a sharp rose, very floral. I don't know if peony's in this, but there's a very rich, sweet rose quality to this. That also has like almost a mint feel, similar to 21. But this is my favorite of the entire 21 line. Excuse me, Torino line. Even more than again the newest one is cool, but it's a little bit more suntan lotiony for me. This is also my favorite bottle of the bunch. I like the little almost 80s or 90s feel design to it. But at 24, it's a fantastic summer fragrance. Could be spring. You can wear it again, whatever you want, when you want. But this one really just brings me a lot of joy. Very powerful, like most Xerjoff fragrances. So I love this. Torino 23. Um, Torino 23 is 24 for me. Next up, you know what? To be honest with you, I actually might flip these around. So here in real time, I actually think I would boost Torino 23 to 23, not just because it's funny to have them to equal, but this one I actually really love, but I never grabbed for it. But when people ask me what's like the perfect summer fragrance, that's obviously it's loaded. What's up, PG? Thank you for being here, my friend. By the way, just want to encourage you guys again, if you are enjoying the stream and you haven't yet, if you like being here, please feel free to ask questions or talk or tell me your thoughts. This is an open community here on my channel, but hit the like button that you see, the little thumbs up thing. It's very necessary to help these things continue to grow, to develop. So try to, when you watch my actual review videos, try to remember to do that because it's very helpful to YouTube's algorithm. And if you watch these streams, do that as well. I know that a lot of people are like, we don't want to hear that. That's you're being a salesperson, but I'm not. I just like my channel. I love it. It's a passion for me. I just like fragrances and doing this, talking with you guys, and that's what helps. So I always encourage you guys to hit the like button if you like being around and hanging out. Not that, I'm saying you have to, but if you are enjoying yourself, it helps. So, Torino 23, I'm actually going to shift up to 23, and in its place in 24, I am going to kind of go back and put Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum. So, I love this fragrance. This was something when I first got it, I loved it so much that I impulsively, in my mind, like I was so electrically like built into this. It connected me so deeply that it became like my absolute favorite for a while there. I wore it a lot. And I didn't overplay it necessarily for myself, but I loved it so much. I thought it was very incredible and well done, and taking a good take on a woodsy, creamy coconut feel without going pure like pina colada style or something. It's just beautiful. For, like, to be honest with you, all year, you could wear this, not just in the summertime. To be honest, Paradise Garden is much more the perfect summertime take. It's more aqueous, but this one's fantastic for summer or any time at all. So if you're looking for a beautiful year-round, but especially that could come out during that early spring, early summer feel, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum really does it for me, and I love it. But even though I love it, I like it more when other people wear it. It sticks to your clothes like crazy. Jean Paul Gaultier has a fantastic job at making fragrances just kind of cling to you and do great performance, great loudness, longevity. Everything about it's just great performance. They've really mastered that craft. All the perfumers who do any work over there, when they come through. But I realized I don't grab for this as much after that first wave when I really was inspired by it. I don't grab for this as much as I once did. And as well, this one's also been duped pretty decently. You go to Hod Lodge's Island, but still, it's not, again, the quality difference is there. You can tell. So I would rather you save up and get the original, the Parfum Edition Le Beau. Just monstrous performer, beautiful fragrance, very unique and interesting for the summertime compared to lots of other things that's out there. But at the same time, I don't grab for it as much as I once did, but I still love it, and it definitely deserves to be on my list. So I'm going to put it at number 24 because Torino 23 I do realize I like better. So like I said, these things shift and turn around. We're all enjoying ourselves when it comes to perfumery and any art, and different days, different moods, but also sometimes it's just hard to make categorizations to some degree. Do I have Vulcan Few? Yes. So you'll hear me talk about that. Here it is. Well, I guess I'll show you. I've got Vulcan Few and Vulcan Sable. Just want to throw this out there again. I'm going to use a dupe and clone. So there are, again, just a disclaimer, over explaining. I do say that there are some out there that are good, but the majority's not. It's just the truth. I know that people want to believe that's not the case because all these content creators are shoving them at you because the price range really tickles your fancy. You see 20, you see 30, you see $40, $50, whatever. Ooh, a decent-ish fragrance for 20, 30, $40. So you see that. In Vulcan's Fuse case, it's a huge ripoff. It's like $70. But these dupe houses are just so uninspired, and it does actually bother me. So if you're on a budget, I can totally respect wanting to have fragrances and just wanting to have things that smell nice for a budget. I can appreciate that. So I'm not saying everybody just needs to spend all their money on fragrances, but I am saying that if you like perfumery and you don't just want to have one, two cheap things just to throw on, if you actually like perfumery, it's just uninspired and boring to go copy everything all the time. That's what a lot of these fragrance houses do, and then they pay people unnecessarily good money to run their mouth about it on the internet, so that you just throw your money away, your hard-earned money, just have the biggest collection of slop instead of. Again, there are some really good ones out there, so I am throwing a blanket over here. But we just have to understand, try your best to control yourself. That's what my channel constantly is encouraging. Remember, people are sponsors. People are paid good money to convince you that crap is great. And Vulcan Few is like the poster child for me to say that. So I know people who do love the scent, just like God of Fire. God of Fire is expensive and yet useless because it smells cool. I know people that really love the scent. It smells all right, but it's way too basic for the name. And the smell profile is not that great. It's just like that mango-y ginger feel, and it's okay. But both performances, God of Fire and Vulcan Few, are just not even close to like what you should be asking for, the prices that they're asked for. So even Vulcan Few being a dupe sucks. And all these douchey content creators were saying, "Oh, it's a monster! It's a monster! You're gonna get 12 hours of monstrous performance. My girlfriend could smell me down the hallway." No, she couldn't. And you should be ashamed of yourself for lying like that. So I got my bottle. I bought it myself, but directly from the source when it came out. And I don't want to hear no crap about masturbation. We all understand this concept. But if people are having to constantly convince you, hey, buy this new fragrance, but give it some time, if you had to be convinced of that with an expensive or cheap fragrance or anything in between, that does help a lot sometimes. And fragrances can become more robust throughout time. But if somebody's trying to tell you it's going to suck at first, give it time, it'll become amazing, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to get you to buy something, and it's just stupid. You should, again, save your money. If you really love a cheaper priced fragrance, but it's well done, cool. But also save your money and get things that really express you. Like, don't be addicted to just buying crap. A lot of people in the fragrance world go through that of addiction of just buying things because they want to have that other thing that they've heard about. That's not what this is for. This is for expressing yourself, putting you out there, just like maybe the style of clothing that you wear or the type of things you're interested in. So please just remember that. I know I sound very preachy, whatever. It's my channel, but I'm not paid or sponsored to do this stuff. I do it because I love it, and I care about you guys spending your money just like me. I work full time. This is not my business. I don't do this. This is what I do for fun because I love it. So it's not like I make any money doing this crap. I just do it because it's a passion. And so you work full time as well or part time, doesn't matter. You want to have fragrances you love. So please don't be convinced by all these turds out here shoving junk in your face. It's slop. So just making that, that little rant. That's what I do. Sorry, whatever. But that's just what I'm throwing out there. Vulcan Few sucks. Don't waste your $70 on it. If you really, really like that profile, okay, that's your choice. That's your opinion, and that's fine. But from me to you, there's way better things you can get your hands on than that. I agree. I think that's a problem with clones. It is. A lot of clones are trash. I'm going to be 100% with you. A lot of clones are crap. Again, you will hear me say things like, I love Sillage. Club de Nuit Sillage, great take on Silver Mountain Water. It is worth having that instead. Armoff is one of the few fragrance houses I actually respect to some degree when they do their dupes because they're at least well enough rounded. Some of them, again, Sillage has synthetic feel to it compared to the original, but the performance is great enough and it does have a good enough blend that it works. Same thing with the Club de Nuit Intense Parfum or a Mont Blanc Explorer, stuff like that. I do have appreciation for it because they took something and they didn't just try to make slop. They redid it and made it worth what you actually pay for it. They're not asking for $1 million for some crap. It's good enough. But again, for the most part, most dupes and clones are just being paint by numbers, slammed at you, just junk, and it's not worth it. But, it's okay if you disagree. That is your choice. How close is Club de Nuit new iconic to Blue de Chanel? I don't know. I haven't tried that one, to be honest with you. In the same token, there have been fragrances that I didn't like getting them, but warmed up to them after a while. Vice versa has also happened. That is true. That does happen a lot. And I will say, again, there is that nuance that some dupes and cheapies, sometimes they have been taken and made even better than the original. That I can appreciate. I can respect. So this is one that really surprised me. I have a lot of respect for the perfumers who, and the perfumer who was behind Portrait of a Lady, but it was a little too berry for me in an odd way. I just didn't like it as much. And then this bad boy, which is super cheap actually, Amir, by Paris Corner, the Identity Unique Portrait. I really like this one. Something about the way that, again, I love rose fragrances. Something about this one, it's supposed to be a take on Portrait of a Lady, but there's a little bit more of a mature woodsy quality to it that I was like, wow, they did a great job. Performance is really nice. I don't even remember how much it was, like $15, something like that. And I was shocked. I like this one way more than the original. So that happens sometimes. Don't think that I'm being hypocritical. I'm always going to shoot it straight with you. Sometimes it absolutely happens that these houses do a good job at what they're trying to do, but it's just boring. Why not make more things that are your own thing? If you've got the money, the materials, if you've got these perfumers just slamming stuff out, if they're that good, at least trying to copy something, why not let them have time to create things instead of just trying to make all your money off of duping other stuff? That's just my thought. So I totally get it. There's a place for it at times, but yeah, Arma, because they do twist rather than a clone, my thing. Instead of trying to be just like it, I like that Armoff actually does their own little variation on things, and it still has that robustness in performance. That's one thing they do not lose is their performance. I really give them a lot of credit. So all that rant is over with. If you got more questions, I'll go back there. I'm never coming at, if you see me get hyped up or start running my mouth, I am never coming at a single person. So if you ask me questions and your question leads to me doing that, please don't take it as any offense towards you. It's just how my mind's going. I'm trying to get this out there. I always say this during my streams, and I always will 1,000 streams down the road. I care about your money. I don't get your money. So that's not why I care about it. I care about your money because you're spending it on stuff and you don't just need to be impulsively throwing it away on crap. Let perfumery be a thing that you really care about that becomes a part of you expressing yourself. Don't get all hyped. It's not Pokemon. You don't got to catch them all. Don't get yourself all jazzed up because some douchebag on TikTok said, here's the next new big Afnan. Here's the next big Latafa. Who cares? Sometimes they're just really pumping junk at you. Like, buy samples if you can, or wait till something's like super discounted. You're not doing reviews most likely. You don't got to keep up with trends. So if you do see a new dupe come out and you're interested in it, give it some time because I promise you, like 6 months from now or a year from now, that thing that was like $50 at first or $70 at first, it's going to drop down to like 20, especially off of something like Amazon if you use a reputable seller, whatever. And if you really got to have it, do it then. Give it some time for reviews to come out, all this stuff, and get a balanced feel for things instead of just buying whatever's pushed in your face. If I have to go extra before I keep going, unfollow a lot of accounts. Stop watching, even if you got to stop watching me. Do that if you have to. Updated their light blue fragrance. I did. So actually, first and foremost, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of the new Dolce & Gabbana light blue bottle. I love the frosted glass, but something about it. They did this little, I don't know how to explain it. There's this, instead of like the all around roundness of it, they did this little weird shaped thing to it. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah, I can. Okay, maybe I can. No, I won't be able to make it come across with their new bottle style on camera. But I'm not the biggest fan of the bottle shape. But I will say I actually kind of like the profile. I haven't tested it, so I don't know how well it is compared to the original. But I did like it. It's just like there's a mildly new version, the reformulation of the original Jean Paul Gaultier, the mild eau de toilette. I already love the original. I do like the way that it feels now to smell it, and it's got good performance. Pretty dang fantastic performance, to be honest with you, for being an eau de toilette. Like some companies just knock it out of the park, and so I enjoy it. But yeah, definitely like that. Thank you, Dartrell. I hope I said your name properly. I want to smell it creamy under $80 to $90. You want to smell it creamy vanilla for $80 to $90. I don't know if you want like because vanilla can go a lot of different directions. Even saying creamy vanilla. Um, I think on some discounter sites, there's good vanilla fragrances from Mancera. I actually don't have any, like, when it comes to that kind of price point, it's tough depending on what you're asking for. Because if you could go up just a little, I could shift you towards Bianco Latte.
How much was the Dolce & Gabbana?
Which Dolce & Gabbana?
Mine.
Oh, That is a good question. So
I'm
my
eavesdropping.
wife's eavesdropping, but she's probably not going to get on the question. But I will say, well, this is a woman's one, so it might not help unless they're okay with that. But are you talking? So this is devotion. This was they have a man's version. I haven't smelled it though, but this was I think 115 something like that. I think that's like the price it goes for 115, 120. But this is like a good rich vanilla coffee scent,
It's
vanilla bean.
very warm and
Actually, yeah, the
vanilla.
coffee note is kind of relaxed. It's mostly just strong, creamy vanilla ice cream.
Hmm.
So, actually, you know what? Men could wear this. Anybody could wear it. This was supposed to be the woman's formulation, but it doesn't smell that way. It smells completely right in the middle. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, smell this real quick. Sorry, you guys. My wife doesn't want to come on camera. She looks beautiful, but she probably doesn't feel good enough to be on camera right
Mm.
now for some reason. But we're gonna respect
Yeah,
that.
this is like
Smell
vanilla
it. No,
ice
smell it.
cream.
Smell it next to each other. Hold them both. So this is Giardini's Bianco Latte versus Devotion. Don't they smell kind of similar?
So this one is definitely vanilla ice cream, while this one smells like it was caramelized in
Yeah,
a
so
way.
the little rich, earthy coffee notes stuff.
Yeah.
But I am going to shut the door because it's probably adding an echo.
Bye.
But I love you. Thank you for coming through. But yeah. So if you could go up to like 130, 150, I would probably want you to save just a little more money and get Bianco Latte if you really want a strong, creamy vanilla fragrance. But as well, honestly, yeah, anybody could wear this, even though this is the ladies' edition. I haven't smelled the man's, but if it's close enough to this will be a good one. Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana. It's an eau de parfum. But yeah, so as well, if you don't mind some rose notes, but in a masculine way, Paco Rabanne's 1 million elixir really beats you there. Just being completely honest with you. Yeah, because there's like a rich, woodsy floral quality to it, but it's masculine completely across the board. So there's just a bright, dense, sweet Tonka-ish vanilla quality to this. I would say 1 million elixir is a really good choice for like a price range because you can get it for an excellent price, especially on discounter sites. So sometimes I had to like explore around a little bit before I can answer something like that. But thank you so much for asking. All right. We're going to continue to work forwards. By the way, I don't know if you're still here, Jara, but I am following you back. I accidentally clicked on your notification, so I'm not going to read your messages just yet. But I am going to come back to that later. So thank you for having come through and commented. Agreed. I had to learn how to separate personality from the product. Being more intentional has helped me grow more actively. Say exactly, Dwayne. That's a big thing, but that smells more of a smoked vanilla. It does. If you're talking about the devotion, so like I said, that's the woman's one. I don't know what the man's one's like, but it does have like a little bit of smokiness to it, but very creamy. But Bianco Latte is like perfect for that. If that's something that you're looking for. Hmm. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why I didn't think about this before. It's not creamy, but Liquid Brune by French Avenue or Hod Lodge's Vanilla Dunes or as well Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions. Fantastic people over there. I'll say either one of those. They're all pretty much the same. They are a take on Out There by Parfums de Marly. It's not quite creamy, but it's there. It's mostly like vanilla pods. So I would say yeah, go out and sample some stuff. But if you're looking for anything along those lines, anything like that could work for you. And the ones I just listed actually a pretty good price range. Is that the orange PDM fragrance? Yes, absolutely. So Althayer's the toffee colored one. But I always recommend you guys spend more time with stuff and get a feel for things because you're really gonna be surprised sometimes how your tastes can shift as you have more exposure. So I got way derailed though, so I'm going to keep going forward. But I love it when the questions come, and I don't mind going all the way off the tracks and around the universe to get back to the center. So, Versace Eros Flame is holding its place over here now in the 22nd place. I really do love this one. It isn't higher up on the list necessarily, but I do think that someday it might kind of shift around. But I tried to be fair. But again, we're still working through the skeleton of this because that's kind of how it works with fragrances and all kinds of art. Sometimes you just are in a mood some days when you're trying to compile something. But at the end of the day, if I had to be completely frank, after my top 10, sort of, or even maybe more or less my top five, all this stuff is kind of equal because it's just different. It's different feels at different times of days and stuff. So most of this list is just putting something at a number just to have it on the list, and it's not really in that number if I had to be sincere. But absolutely, Versace Eros Flame is perfect. You can get this for a beautiful price. It's just creamy vanillic woods, but with bright blood orange at the top. So it's not like dreamsicle necessarily. I see some people say that, and I can get why you would go that way. To like, explain it, sometimes it's hard to explain stuff. I can see why you would go that way, but it's much more velvety and rich than that. But incredible price, fantastic performance for me, for a lot of other people. But as our buddy here said in the chat, it's not always the same. We don't always know why. It could be olfactory fatigue, nose blindness. It could be, hopefully not, but this does happen. It could potentially be quality control where it's produced, because in these big fragrance houses, it's not like your Aaron Terrence Hughes or somebody like that. You just got people pumping stuff out in these factories, so anything can honestly happen. But I do very much love Eros Flame. I think I'm gonna make that disclaimer very serious. Most of these things after my top 10, once we get to the top 10, it's very coordinated. After that, largely all of these right here are not really in a number category. I hate that they even had to give a number to them. It's just to help me list them. But they're all equal in some way, shape, or form, depending on the day. So just understand that. Sillage is a dupe. So Club de Nuit Sillage is actually Silver Mountain Water by Creed, and it was very well done. It has a synthetic quality to it. Obviously, the even though Creed has went down in formulation when it comes to projection and lift, it doesn't mean that they went down the quality of the fragrance itself. They're still using a good blend of naturals and aroma chemicals. It's just that problem that at the end of the day, the way that they so if you watch people who are professionals, who are chemically trained, chemists trained, like Aaron Terrence Hughes, people like that. Um, if you watch people like that, when they explain stuff, you'll start to learn, especially if you go read any books about perfumery and classically trained perfumery, and then the chemistry that makes it up, organic chemistry and stuff. You'll start to kind of get a feel for the way that they construct these things with musks, chemicals, aldehydes, all that stuff in between with the naturals. The layers from top notes to middle to base is very different in how you want it to be built. Do you want lots of projection? Do you want longevity? Do you want something in between? Sometimes, depending on even the type of fragrance it is, very dense vanillic stuff can have it all. Sometimes citrus-based things are going to have a lot of lift, but maybe not last as long unless they are made a certain way with bonding agents. And so there's a lot to it. And for a lot of people, maybe it's boring. To me, I love that kind of stuff. I think it's very interesting, but sometimes you have to sacrifice this for that and like lowering concentrations for like the sake of saving a few pennies as well, but making like raising the price happens a lot with stuff like companies like Creed, unfortunately. So with Creed, fantastic smell, still got that level of quality, just not at all there at performance in the newer batches. Sillage for Club de Nuit definitely has the performance locked tight, but it's just the smell is almost exactly perfect. It's just missing. You can tell that the overall compounds was like not in the same quality level, but it's still great. Have you tried SI Pure? I have not. I have absolutely not, content Terminator, but thank you for your suggestion. I appreciate that. So I had to add it to my list. I do actually add these things to a little thing, by the way. I try to go back through chat comments and stuff when I have a chance to do so. I just there's a lot. That's why I please encourage you guys, hit the like button on here, because it really helps the channel continue to these videos continue to boost to grow. And there's really something exciting that I'm very happy to talk about at the end of this stream for the channel. But you guys have been helping me so much when y'all come through here. Get this channel to where I'm really hoping it will be, so that I can do more with this. And so thank you to every one of you guys. But moving forward, I'm going to try to get through it a little faster. So 21 is Xerjoff's Herba Pura. Absolutely one of my favorite things of all time. Beautiful, beautiful performance. Fantastic, fantastic. It's like, to me, I see it. I can't. This isn't the exact notes, but I see it as a creamy, not milk, not lactonic, but vanillic at the base of passion fruity mango type of feel. I can't remember exactly what the fruit notes was. That's not quite it, but it is a beautiful tropical fruit smoothie type of thing, but it's not cheap. When I say that, it sounds cheap, but it's not. It's powerful, beautiful, luxurious. I love Herba Gold as well, but I like Herba Pura more. Number 20 is Tom Ford's Oud Wood. I know. Newer formulations do not have as great performance. We all have heard that. We all know that that's supposed to be the case. But for me, I still get good. It's not radiant like apparently it used to be. I wouldn't know. I never got to have an older bottle. But it does stay to the skin. I have a newer bottle of it, and it stays to my skin all day. So everybody's skin's different. I'm not diminishing your experience, but I will say that because it's not an absolute monster is maybe what's most people's problems. But I have had no issues with my bottle lasting on me. But I love that either way, even if it didn't perform well, I love its qualities. So I really like Tom Ford's Oud Wood. 19, again, these are not actually numbered like this, okay? I can't, I don't think it's fair for them to be numbered this way. They're all incredible for their own reasons, different times, until we get to the top 10. But Bleu de Chanel Parfum, it's 19, but it's not number 19 like my favorite. I love it. Fantastic, incredible performance. Expensive now. Very rarely will you find this on discounters. I think mostly looking around the $150 to $200 range, but for a decent sized enough bottle, 220 range, something like that, for like a 5 fluid ounce. I don't remember how many milliliters that is, but incredible, beautiful, classic perfumery. Um, Extremely basic in certain aspects, but still extremely well done. Not too shower jelly, just does a beautiful thing. I love Blue de Chanel parfum. 18, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. The original scent is a little bit more my favorite. Recently, I discovered my mom gave my wife a sample bottle of the woman's one. I had not smelled it before. I did not know anything about it, and I smelled it. And I was like, wow, that's actually like the best. Anybody could wear it, but it is literally the best version of light blue. If you ever get your chance to smell it, smell the woman's Dolce & Gabbana light blue. It's incredible, but and anybody can wear it, like I said, man or woman. But at the time that I made this list, I think I kind of tie them all the same. I like the original one the most as far as the men's version, but the performance and everything overall kind of boosts this up in there. So I go with the O Intense, and it does. It lasts on me all day, but I can't speak for everyone. What can you say about Kai Rosa body mists? I don't know, my friend. I'm sorry. I think those are snobs who say older bottles are better. Sometimes that does happen. It just some of them can be, but yeah, I think some things do get reformulated and lowered in concentration, so they don't have quite the same amount of potency that they used to have. But there is a lot of people out there who just they say stuff. If you go on like Fragrantica, um, if you go on a lot of Reddit pages, you're just gonna see a lot of people who are not professionals in any capacity. You will actually see people. I've seen a lot of Reddit posts. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just being honest. I've seen a lot of Reddit posts start off with, I normally only like designer freshies, but, and then they'll go on this rant about Amouages, Zerjoffs, whatever, and they'll just tell you how it's all trash and horrible, just crap, completely overpriced and a bunch of junk. It's like, the internet, unfortunately, again, I know I fall into this category, but the internet, unfortunately, gave way too many people a voice, a public voice, but nobody keeps in mind that every little thing you say does influence people. That's why I try to be very sincere and specific when I do these streams and respond to you guys, even if at times maybe abrasively, because I've had the experience where somebody asks me a question between this or this, which one you like more? And I tell them, and then they tell me they just purchased it. And I don't like that. It's okay if you do. I'm not going to come at you, but I want you to think for yourself, give things consideration for yourself. Try samples and stuff. I really, as somebody who's, again, I don't bring this up to brag on myself. I'm 7 years sober from alcohol and drugs and stuff, and tobacco products and all that stuff. I'm 7 years sober from those things, which means I struggled for almost 12 years. I was very much in the throes of addiction, and now, like these days, I'm still addicted to stuff like caffeine, food, stuff like sugar, and things like that. We all have like our vices, but it isn't good to feed into one another's addictions and cravings. So the impulse of buying fragrances, especially from like watching content creators, that's what I'm very anti. That's kind of my main thing here. To be sincere, to give you my thoughts, but to remind you it's subjective, and to be very anti salesman mentality about this kind of crap. So just throwing it out there. If you're really about to buy something, you just want to hear other people's thoughts, that's fine. But be responsible and try to have control of yourself. Try to test stuff out. Have restraint. Don't spend hundreds of dollars on crap just because you're having the itch to do it. I really am against that. So just throwing it out there again. But Blue de Chanel versus Terre d'Hermes. For me, always Blue de Chanel. Terre d'Hermes, I'm not going to say that right, by the way. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. I've heard different things, but I'm not French. But I don't know. For me, always Blue de Chanel. I'm kind of basic, still sticking to Davidoff and Uwama. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody's allowed to love whatever it is that they love whenever they connect to, 100%. Thank you guys, by the way, again for being here. I'm still working through this list, but I just want you to know I really appreciate this so much when you guys come in and ask questions. Uh, this channel is nothing without you guys. If I don't have the chance to answer your questions, I can't appreciate these things the way I do. I can't learn more about myself even than having this time with you guys. So if any of y'all ever come in and watch, I send the oceans of love to your direction. As long as you're being respectful to each other and to me, I cannot tell you how much I cherish you. Any Joe Malone on your list? Nah. Ooh. Oh my God. I cannot believe this. So I keep forgetting one of my classic favorites, and I did not put it on this list, but it deserves to be on here, and that's Joe Malone's Cypress and Grapevine. There's another one from the store, but I haven't given enough of a chance to tell you how it performs. But this one's Cologne Intense. It's not extremely strong, but it has decent enough staying power to the clothes. My wife loves this. This is on her list. Oh wow, this is fantastic. I'm so sorry. I can't believe this is an honorary mention. Thank you for bringing that up, my friend. I don't know how I was looking through all these and completely missed this. Joe Malone, Cypress, and Grapevine definitely deserves to be on the list. I kind of overlooked it, unfortunately, since it's right with my Tom Fords. But seriously, Guru Pika, thank you so much. Special Monkey, it's actually starting to grow on me. I've hated on it quite a bit because I'm not a huge rich caramel person. Thank you for the little the emojis and stuff you're pressing. I appreciate that. Definitely though, Special Monkey's starting to really grow on me a little bit, as I thought it might, as time has gone on. Any Zerjoff on your list, and what is your list for? So Zerjoff's always going to be on my list. Zerjoff is my absolute favorite fragrance house of all time. So right now, what I'm doing in this video is I went back over the top 30 that I had did before, like my favorites. I'm not a top 10, top 30 channel, but I wanted to try to make a list of like my personal favorites just to share with you guys where my tastes are, and get to know you guys's. But I'm doing it again because our favorites kind of shift and change a lot. Mine's going to probably shift again about the. So what I recently said in this stream is that just please understand anything except for when we get to the top 10 is not set in stone. It's just a number so that I can kind of go through it with you guys. But I love all the ones that I'm listing. And blessings to you, buddy. Thank you very much. Julian, I'll talk a little bit about that more in a second. Have you tried mind games? I've tried a lot of them, but not enough to, like I said, my rule of three that I always talk about for you guys if you're new here, unless I've tried something on my skin, three different occasions to test performance and all that stuff, longevity, whatever. I don't like to give my full thoughts on something. So that's just kind of the way I work. So there are some mind games that I actually really liked, but I'm gonna wait and get the sample set. It's like $75 for a set of 10. That's a really good deal. So I'm gonna get that soon so I can really do reviews on those. I loved Castling. I had to check. You said Castly, like Parfums de Marley, or Castling by Mind Games. I had to check that out. No, I don't own any Louis V. So I've said this a lot, and since you're new here, I'll let you know. But Louis Vuitton's one of the fragrance houses I think extremely overpriced. I've smelled them. I've given them a shot, not as much as I could, but just off the rip. And friends of mine who own them, they're very expensive for what you get out of them. I know there are people who really love them, and that's okay. It's different people's opinions, but um, I think that maybe my mind will kind of change one day, but for now, other than Ombre Nomad, most Louis Vuittons are a little too basic for me to be charging what they are, and it's difficult to get a hold of as they are because they're not even on discounters and stuff. So that's kind of where I go with it. It's part of the Artisan collection of my names. I have to check that out. So somebody did ask about this earlier as Londo, so I'll just go ahead and be really quick. It lasts extremely well for me for the most part. Again, I'm not sponsored or paid by any of these companies. I just tell you, shoot it straight. Most dupes and clones suck. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there, but Golden Nuit Sillage actually does a really good job. So it really holds up very well scent wise, and I enjoy it. It's a little more, it's quite a bit more synthetic to an extent in the opening than the original Silver Mountain Water I got over here, but the performance is way better, and so I do recommend it if you want that kind of thing. What MFK and Initios do you own? I've got Oud for Greatness Neo, the original Oud for Greatness. I've got Paragon, and then Side Effect, and then I've got Initios, MFK Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum, Grand Soir Eau de Parfum, and then as well I've got Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. So thank you for being here and for asking. Let's keep working through the list. So again, Tom Ford's Oud Wood, Bleu de Chanel Parfum, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense, Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mal de Parfum. Just to answer my friend who asked about Xerjoff earlier, already Xerjoff's Torino 23 was on my list. Absolute favorite, one of my favorites. Next up, this is one that I really truly love. Like I said, anything over the top 10 is just me giving you like a number, but it doesn't really belong in that number. They're all equal in their own ways. Oh, super hard to recommend this one. I dumped all over it in the original review that I did because I just had not had a lot of exposure to fragrances. This is why I'm always telling you guys to not judge things like right off rip, give stuff a chance. But my sweet God, Alexandria 2, luxury in a bottle. Got that stank on it though, because of the agarwood notes and stuff, and that classic earthy luxuriousness to it. It is absolutely not for everybody. It is a pure parfum. It's very expensive, very very expensive to be honest with you. But I got a couple bottles stored up because I love it so much, and a special occasion type of fragrance here, or like a lounging about fragrance, but very much not for everybody because of the more oriental qualities to it. Definitely, and the price. Definitely hard to suggest to most people, but it is very much on my list. I hated this at first because I had not had, like I said, much exposure to niche quality fragrances. And when you're more exposed only to your typical designer profiles, you want fresh, you want aqueous, you want maybe green, light, citrus. That's the kind of thing you kind of get attracted to. It's kind of what sticks to you. But as you get more exposure to woodsy qualities and so much more, earthy stuff like agri-wood, oud type things like this, spices. You'll open up a little bit. Doesn't mean you gotta force yourself like I always had to like stuff, but this one definitely is one of my favorites of all time. Alexandria 2 is an order from Joma Shop, just taking 1 to 2 weeks. So I don't, by the way, Grand Soir is fantastic. I'm glad you love it, my friend. I'd like to know some of your other favorites. So I've only ever got one thing off of Joma Shop. In the past, whenever I don't get something from like a direct buy or retailer, it's normally like Fragrance Net or Max Aroma. They've been pretty trustworthy so far. I only ever got one thing from Joma Shop, and it actually didn't take that long. I've heard somebody say you need to look to see if it says in stock. I don't know if this is true, so I'm just telling you what I was told. But somebody said it compared to like Max Aroma or something where you can only buy something if it's in stock. I've heard that again, this might be completely wrong, but you can add something to your cart and pay for it when it's in back order, and then that's what can lead to waiting a while, or sometimes just their shipping can take a while. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Joma Shop did good for me when I got what I got. I got that Tarathi Electric, which again I already gave that away, but some call it site Sloma Shop. It could be. I bought Naxos, but it smells like licorice and medicine. Hey, you know what? That's actually, a lot of people have different thoughts on different things. It's a very sweet, beautiful, to me, honey tobacco profile. But I can see that because for me, a lot of people really, really love Angel Share by Killian. I know that it was well made, but it's very overpriced to me, and I hate it. I can't wear it. It makes me sick. So everybody's opinions are different, and I totally respect that, my friend. Only bought a bottle from Joma Shop and it's like 6 weeks. That is crazy. Thank you guys again so much for being here, for hitting the like button. I appreciate that so very much. I cherish you guys, and I mean that. Anytime I say something, if I'm talking quickly and it comes off this way, please understand me. I do not say stupid crap for social media bullcrap. If I tell you something, I mean it, and I sincerely appreciate y'all so very much. I don't like Angel Share either. Thank you, thank you. Finally, I got one other buddy out there. I have been told so many times that I'm crazy for not loving Angel Share, and I'm just like, ah. Um, Somebody said what initios? Just one more time. By the way, you guys are more than welcome to answer for me. Not that I want to dodge answering stuff, but if there's something you've heard me answer a lot and you've been here for a while, please feel free to help each other out. I've never met anyone like me on that opinion. Me neither. I keep getting told I'm crazy for not liking Angel Share, but it's too sickly sweet for me. To M, I have not checked that out myself, so I can't give you my thoughts. But yeah, I have Initio Side Effect, Oud for Greatness Neo, and Paragon. What's the next Sillage next to it? This is Oud Mineral by Tom Ford. Really cool, different twist on an aquatic mineral, not aquatic, like what? Yeah, to me, aquatic mineral. It actually, the name's perfect for me because it smells like, even though this isn't like something you would really go sniff rocks in person, this isn't how it smells. But in my mind, they did a mineral job that's so perfect that it's like imagining like water trickling on a fresh stream, fresh water river trickling across like rocks. It sounds gross, but if you know what I mean, you kind of get where I'm coming from. Prada Intense, to me, I can't like it. I don't like it either, to be honest with you. What Zerjoffs do you have? What's your favorite? There's way too many to list right now, but I'll kind of go back to that at the end. And because again, I'm working through my favorites list, but I will talk about that in a second for you. Do you think? Absolutely not. So I've already listed this on my top 30 list. So Dior Sauvage Parfum is my favorite of the Sauvage line, and next to the Elixir. And people say it's overrated. Everybody wants to say stuff that's been out for a long time is overrated. Also, when you start getting into niche stuff, which I love, handfuls of the ones on this list are niche. When you start getting down in that direction, people want to be like a snob and be like, oh, all the designer stuff is trash. It's not. There's stuff that is, but there's lots of stuff that's not. Just like even though most cheapies are trash, most dupes are trash, there's plenty that are not. So again, people want to say Dior Sauvage is overrated. That's their opinion, but they're probably just going to say that because they think it sounds cool to say that. Dior Sauvage, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Parfum, and Elixir are all fantastic and have their place in lots of people's collections. Uh, I do the same thing. I give mine away a lot. So, with that being said, moving on. Jean Paul Gaultier's La Mer de Parfum, Alexandria 2. One of my favorite next up, one of my favorite Xerjoff fragrances coming up next is 40 Knots. This is one of my favorites of all time. This is the greatest aquatic oceanic scent that I've ever smelled. So this is like, again, I always say this is the much more luxurious and mature Eau Intense by Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Not the same, but in the same, they're family. So if this one was like, so if the original Light Blue and the Light Blue for women were maybe like 18, 25, I don't mean how old you had to be to wear it. I'm just saying if they were like the young one, and then Eau Intense is like 34, 35, this is like the 50-year-old or 45-year-old uncle or dad who's like very smart, very wise, has a library, likes to hang out and read books or whatever. I know it sounds really stupid. This is just me giving you my thoughts. But 40 Knots is one of the most fantastic fragrances I've ever smelled. It is true to the core, got a chlorine feel to it, but not in like an ugly way. Just a very sea salt, oceanic fragrance. And if you ever get the chance to smell this, you can get yourself a sample. I love it so, so very much. So 40 Knots by Zerjoff, absolutely. I'm sorry I'm missing you guys' comments real quick. I love a quality. Everyone drop a follow. Thank you. I appreciate that so very much. I really do, sincerely. Thank you guys for being here. I love a quality. Sorry for the wiggling, by the way. It's on this I got this on the whatchamacallit, so it's kind of all over the place. Anything? I have a box. By the way, if you guys ever mention other fragrance creators, other than a very few, I don't know of too many, but if you ever mention any who are really cool people who are open, sincere, try to do the same thing I'm trying to do, I appreciate that. You're more than welcome to help other people out here. Yourself, your own channel. I'm not one of those douches who's like, don't support yourself. Absolutely. Like, if you are an honest creator, if you're not pushing impulse buying crap and sludge on your channel, you are more than welcome to talk about. Don't spam, but you are more than welcome to talk about your own channel, your own thing on here if you're willing to do so. I very much am into smaller channels. I'm still a smaller channel. My subscriber count might look a little elevated, but believe me, keeping a consistent viewership is hard, especially you constantly got to be working on growing and developing, and YouTube's also constantly shifting the goalposts of the algorithm with you. So I get it. If you are a baby channel, or a young channel, whatever you are, even if you're a big channel, I don't care. If you're being respectful, please don't mind ever bringing yourself up in my comments. And you guys who are watching, if you want people to be honest and review stuff, even if you never come back to me again, if anybody in the comments you like their stuff more than hanging out with me, that's great. Go check them out. I want to really have a community here where we are sincere with each other. If you're sincere and you're honest, support each other all the way. I mean that. So even if you never come back here again, that's absolutely cool. Mentioning content creators, have you tried the aromatics line? Send it out to me. Send what I have a box ready to go. Of what? I don't think I saw it. I'm sorry if you got to repeat yourself. Favorite initio? I'll get to that in just a minute. And the aromatics line, just throwing it out there, I have not. That's one of those guys. I'm not going to really share too many thoughts about because I don't know him personally, but I will say I've seen what seems to be some honest thoughts from him from time to time, but I haven't seen enough of his stuff to really gauge this. But I can say I've seen some definitely sponsored videos, and like he seems like a really nice person. But I don't normally want to talk about specific people when I say this kind of stuff. But he definitely, I can tell, like I get a vibe that there is some like sponsored talk about stuff in an inflated way because of being paid to do so. But hey, it also seems like he's had sincere moments and stuff from the few. I've only seen like 5 of his videos ever. So I know he's got a fragrance line through, I think is it Afnan or French Avenue? It might be one of those, I don't know. But I do want to try his stuff because I've heard some decent stuff. I think they're extract de parfums as well. So I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him. He seems like a decent person from what I can tell. But just like with fragrances, I have. Hold on a second. What you got? Oh my goodness. Well, don't you just look beautiful? My wife is finally done getting ready for the day. So are you wanting to come in and say hey, or do we got to go?
No, this is just a 30-minute wedding.
30-minute. Cool. Okay, so I am going to have to go very soon. Do you want to say hey to everybody? This is my wife.
Hi, everybody.
I call her Huggy. Her name's Jess, but she's my best friend in the whole wide world. She's very shy to be on camera. She, by the way, is a flower preservation artist. She works for a floral wholesale. She's been working with flowers since before we met. She is the literal reason why. So I already like flowers in nature anyway, but the reason why rose fragrances, peony, floral-based fragrances are like my absolute favorite thing is because of her, because it makes me think about her. Ironically, though, because she works with flowers so much and stuff, she herself doesn't really like those kinds of things for her. So it makes her think of me because I wear them. It makes me think of her to wear them. So,
yeah, so now we both like it because of each other.
That's kind of the way that it goes. But yeah, so just throwing that out there. She and me have talked about how we used to. So I work for a candle maker supply company. We were making like our own blends of fragrance notes and making our own little things and making our candles for a while. And we had a little thing we were doing and selling some, but we fell off of that. Life got really busy, especially with the move. So, with that being said, though, we were like, hey, now that I've almost hit my goal with what I'm going to talk about in a minute for this channel soon, as I keep working on it and working at it, we're going to start doing that because I can sell stuff on here now. So, if you like candles at all, I don't make this kind of stuff, but we do make our own fragrance blends for candles and everything. It's all, safe, legal, and all that junk. So, we're going to get to that. I'll do some more about that in the future, but we're going to get back to it and hopefully sell some here. So, that'd be neat. Just throwing it out there. But, yeah, with that being said, Sorry, I know I talk a little too fast. I appreciate you guys very much. Her scent of the day, I don't think she's put anything on yet. What you gonna wear today?
Ooh.
You don't know? You gotta think about it.
Well, since we were talking about
The devotion.
yeah.
That's not a summer day fragrance, but you know what? We can wear whatever we want. But yeah, I think that'd be a good choice. Her so she likes to do Reflections Man by Amouage combined with a glitter version of Black Opium by Yves Saint Laurent. She likes combining things, so she's that kind of person. And I never do that for some stupid reason. I just don't think about it. But she also does she calls it her green blend. So it's Green Stravaganza by Valentino, the woman's edition, the Donna.
Yeah, you can see them chewing down on them pretty well. They're halfway mark now.
Yeah, and she blends them with Versace Eros Parfum. So that's her little combo. No, don't spray it at me. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Although
in the
she
hair.
sprayed it literally in the zone that's going to make you go nose blind. So always do the pulse points and the shoulders. But I will say, woof, that is some strong stuff. Look at
I
it.
know it's so good. And you know what? I get compliments on it often. I noticed that one of my coworkers really likes this blend. Every time I do it, he compliments me.
Yeah,
And then whenever I wear the Black Opium, Bobby, one of the drivers, he likes that one. He asked if it was unisex, and it's a glitter bottle with pink liquid. So I was like, I mean, the scent itself maybe could be, but the bottle doesn't look to be so.
But then again, like anything could be for anybody if it's your type of thing. So, by the way, I know I'm missing some comments. I'm about to get down there, but I just wanted to go ahead and say, like, I appreciate you guys coming through. I'm sorry if what I'm missing, what you got. What celebrity fragrances do you like? I actually don't know too many. But I will say real quick, Ariana Grande's Cloud. As much as this is gonna sound super lame, I like it. I think it's pretty fun. I know that sounds super corny. Rare Reef Aether Extract. Not bad content. There's most of those, to be honest with you, are not for me, but I do appreciate why people like those. Thank you, Muhammad, for subscribing. I appreciate that. You are more than welcome to be here anytime. Again, I'm not the type of person who's ever telling people subscribe to my channel. Although I probably should start saying that. It feels weird. It feels like a salesman type of thing. But I guess since I do want the channel to grow, I gotta say that. So if you like what you did here, I'm gonna break through this weirdness. I'm gonna start doing this. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Watch my actual reviews because that's what means a lot to this channel. I've really changed the format. There's going to be a lot better versions of the reviews coming soon. I've already got 10 of them filmed and stacked up. I can't wait to post and share with you guys. But please do subscribe if you like it. Please always hit the like button on all the videos if you enjoy them. And please share your thoughts. And again, just want to share this enough because I've never really said it too much before. But if you are a small reviewing channel or if you do other stuff and you're being sincere with your channel and really passionate about it, don't be afraid to put stuff in the comments about your stuff. I support small businesses, even if it's not even my thing. I still appreciate it if you're just really passionate about what you do. How many perfumes do you have? I think at the moment, last time I counted, I don't know. I think it was like a 150, something like that. So again, now remember, I don't wear like a majority of this junk. Most of it is for review's sake. So nobody needs to have all this much. It's ridiculous unless you got a problem. If you don't have anything more expensive, can I get Rare Reef or Aether? So I personally don't have those anymore. I already gifted those away. But they're definitely not too bad of a price. Do you collect vintage fragrances? I haven't to this point, but they're also very pricey. But there's some that I would like to get at some point. So I'm gonna run through the rest of this really quickly so I can do a little bit of like announcements and then call it a day. But and I'll answer my buddy who just commented. I'll answer you in just a second. Thank you again so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. So today I'm wearing Bodicea the Victorious' Ardent. That's on my list. Paco Rabanne 1 Million Elixir. Parfums de Marley's Leighton. And Initio's Side Effect. So now I'm getting into my actual top 10 favorites. Now, again, some of these are a little wiggy. Some of these are a little wiggly, can go around a little bit. But I'm going to go in that direction. So number 10, although again, some of these are malleable, only really the top 5 is set in stone to some degree. The rest of them are all kind of like, they could shift, they're tied to some degree. Number 10, this was a little higher the other day. Oh no! Thankfully nothing happened. It doesn't really matter. And I've got replacement bottles for that, but clumsy. Amouage. Ooh, I know this is cheating, but I'm gonna say it. The entire Amouage interlude line is tied for me. I love Black Iris. Some days that one's my favorite. Some days the original. Some days interlude 53. Like I put that on before sleep last night. Just gonna go ahead and throw this out there. My wife is not a fan, but that's okay. I absolutely, yeah, I know, me too. I absolutely love the interlude line. But Black Iris might be the one I'm gonna stick with for now. Real quick, what did you say? You got me. I just subscribed. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you so very much for taking the time to do that. Like seriously, it means the world to me. I guess you guys are going to start hearing me say that more often because it's necessary to make the channel grow. I have to say subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you, the biggest thing you can do to support me is to go back through my catalog of fragrance reviews. Obviously, you're going to see the development from when they were not. They still aren't perfect, but I'm getting better with the quality of them. But yeah, basically, I really appreciate if you guys go back and watch those. Just leave your thoughts, watch them. I don't do top 10, like getting all in your face crap type of stuff, except for like doing streams like this from time to time. It's always taking one fragrance at a time, like Aaron Terrence Hughes. He's my biggest inspiration. Never talked to the guy, would love to one day, but we're on different ends of the spectrum. He's more chemically minded. I do things from a more just like sensation and overall just talking about the basics of performance longevity and all that stuff. Do I think it's worth it as a working man? Type of thing. That's my thing. Should I send my PO box? I mean, if you'd like to, although I don't have anything to send to people. Just being real. So I'm just throwing this out there, you guys. I have a lot of fragrances, but I don't do like giveaways in the sense of like shipping things to people. I give stuff to my friends and family and like people that I meet in person. I know this is going to sound like crappy, but I really love the experience. Maybe one day I will, but I'm not at that point right now. But right now, after I review something, I love the experience of like seeing face to face somebody get really excited when they pick something out and then I get to give it to them. It makes me really happy. So that's kind of the thing. But maybe one day I'll do giveaways and stuff when I can. But with that being said, oh, I'm sorry. Fall's coming. What fall season do you recommend for men and women? Hmm. I might have to get back to that, but definitely 1 million elixir is really good all year, but good for fall. Sauvage, Elixir Parfum, Jean Paul Gaultier's Lamel, Elixir, Lamel de Parfum, Elixir Absolu, Side Effect, Versace Eros Parfum, Ombre Leather, and also Dark Stream by Tom Ford. So stuff like that. It's kind of all over the place. Latafa Assad, not quite for me. Just throwing that out there. And then also to Gustavo, I really like your name. I'll answer that in just a second. But yeah, so I'll finish this up real quick and then we'll talk. So I'm watching Interlude Black Iris is in my top 10. Three of Aaron Terrence Hughes' fragrances have 100%. I know it sounds biased, like, oh, you were inspired by him. So no wonder. No, in all seriousness, I was like, I'm gonna rip these apart. Not literally. I was like, I'm gonna say if I don't think these are my style. I knew they were gonna be good quality, but I was like, I'm going to say if these are not my style, and that's fine. I was very pleasantly shocked, very pleasantly surprised to understand it and see that everything like that his personality and like how I really connect to like the way he speaks and talks and stuff reminds me of myself. His personal tastes, even though we don't like everything, some things I like that he don't like, some things he likes that I don't like. Um, Definitely the three that I've tried so far immediately made their way into my top 10. I don't care, say what you want about that, but the Belle de Nuit is one of my favorite rose things I've ever come across in my entire life. It's in my top 10. Versace Eros Parfum, incredible, classic, staple. The EDT is not my favorite. The Eau de Parfum's okay, but I really love the Parfum edition. It's amazing for anyone. Robust, all age ranges. It's not basic at all. Good, creamy, woodsy with the bergamot and citrus feel at the top and last all day. Monstrous. Fantastic price. Tom Ford's Ombre Leather Parfum, I love it so very much. Definitely top 10 worthy. Amouage Reflection, I absolutely love it. Parfums de Marly, this is the top 5 here. This is where like these are like definitely in the right order. Tom Ford, Parfums de Marly's Herod. Aaron Terrence Hughes' Athena, favorite rose fragrance I've ever smelled. I love it. Like I said, I go nose blind to it pretty quickly for whatever reason. I know everybody around me is smelling it all day at my job somehow and loving it, especially women. It's a feminine leaning rose fragrance, but anybody can wear it. I see you guys' comments, by the way. I'm going to get back to you in just a second. I'm sorry. I see stuff popping up. Aaron Terrence Hughes' Unicorn, and I cannot stress enough. I love that one. I love it. Some days it's like my number one. I like oud, but I hate it when it's done in a certain way that's too prominent. I love it when it's blended well, and Aaron always talks about how oud is like his main thing he loves to work with, other than like rose absolute and jasmine and stuff like that. And he knocked it out of the park. Again, I don't know him personally. He's never talked to me before. Hopefully one day, but I'm just saying I finally was grateful to get to try his stuff, and I love unicorn so much it's sickening. The top notes is beautiful. It's never harsh. It starts off incredible and then smooths out immediately, and I love it. I love it so much it's crazy. And so the fact that just throwing this out there, my mom and me were talking about it. And so she surprised me, and I am getting a unicorn elixir. So that will probably be considered the most expensive thing I've ever had. And it's coming soon, and I'm losing my absolute mind. I cannot wait to smell it. I probably am going to, who knows, if it's going to blow my absolute mind away. So I'm going to skip over that. We'll come back to that in just a second because I do got to wrap this up. But Jean Paul Gaultier's Lamel Elixir and then Xerjoff's Naxos. These are honestly both kind of tied as number one for me for the simple reason that they're special to me for different reasons. Naxos has memories attached to it now from a specific time, and then also just a beauty to it that it's unchallenged. And it is just incredible, incredible, incredible honey sweet tobacco. Like I said, it's in the same type of vein as Angel Share by Killian, but yet it's way more beautifully done to me. I love it so much. I will never put my nose on a dupe of it. I'd rather throw something like that off the bridge. Not that there's probably not any good ones out there, but I just really love that one. And Jean Paul Gaultier's Lamel Elixir has like true to the core memories for me and my wife, and it's always going to be so special. So if I had to really choose, I might say Naxos. For a while, Elixir was my number one favorite again. They kind of shift depending on the day, but I'm going to put them as a tie. So those are my favorites. This list might alter and change. In the future, I'm going to talk about some other stuff that I really like. So just throwing it out there. Um, I'm sorry if I missed it. By the way, let me go back up real quick. Strong with You Leather is awesome. Haven't smelled that one, but I really love sandalwood. Send it here. Appreciate you guys having your communication. Tried seeing your wife. Hopefully she'll get to talk to you guys again. I'm a fan. I won't scam. I'm a fan. Yeah, Content Terminator is a really nice guy. But Robert, bless you too, buddy. I'm so sorry that I somehow missed that. You sent me You sent me $5. I just want to make this very clear. I'm never asking anybody to send me no money. But when somebody takes the time to super chat me, if you even feel like doing that, that is like, uh, it's hard for me to express how much that means to me that somebody would even think to do that. To think that me standing here doing what I do, talking with you guys, is worth sending me anything at all, even like 50 cents or 25 cents. It doesn't really matter. Like thinking that it's worth sending me something. To everybody who's done that so far, and to you, Robert, I cannot tell you thank you enough. I mean that same amount to like anybody who even like watches the videos and talks with me and subscribes, comments and stuff. Like it actually means so much to me because I love doing this, and I can't believe people even really enjoy it. When you try this stuff, you don't know if anybody's really going to care. I love perfumery. I love connecting with people, and like, letting you guys know you're not alone. Especially again, this is off subject of fragrances, but as somebody who, again, 7 years and a half sober here, had 11 years and a half of addiction, very, very tough time, but thank God I overcame all that, made the decision to turn away. I encourage people a lot on this channel, whether it's addiction or not. I'm always trying to talk with you guys and connect and not just be some guy on the screen, but like we can talk. I really encourage you guys to do that, especially during the hangout streams. And so, seriously appreciate so much though when somebody feels like doing something like that, like taking the time to share something like that with me. Um, but thoughts on Ariana Grande Cloud? Yeah, absolutely. I do enjoy it. It's actually pretty fun for me. But seriously, thank you guys. I love y'all like very much. I have not tried Bentley Silver Lake and any solid. Oh, I haven't tried any solid perfumes either. Just to be honest with you. Clubbed in Oud, Clubbed in the Week. I have not. Thank you for suggesting it. But so I do have to go now. Just letting you guys know, not like a pushing any type of like religion type of belief system concept here, like trying to like push stuff on you guys. I'm just letting you know that I do pray at the end of every stream, and no matter who you are, if you're atheist, Hindu, Muslim, doesn't matter to me. Christian of any kind doesn't matter to me. I just like to pray with you guys at the end of every stream, and because it's important. I'm thankful for my life, and I'm thankful. You don't have to bow your head or join if you don't want to. But if you come here, I'm just telling you if you're new what to expect. Never going to argue or debate with people because it's not my thing. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here, so that's why I like to do it. And if you don't want to be part of it, that's okay. But if you do, you're welcome. And if you don't, just please feel free to comment either way. But seriously, thank you so very much, Robert. Thank you to the rest of you guys. What's going on? Women Just Love. So at this point, Root, definitely the Aaron Terrence Hughes' Athena has gotten next to that. Lamau Elixir, and then Eros, Xerjoff's Naxos. Those so far have done like the most. And then, like I said, Eros Parfum and Flame have like gotten a lot of people to say it's good. So thank you guys all for being so respectful to me and to each other so far during this chat. I'm about to do my little ending prayer, and thank you for being here. So please, if you want to continue to comment, that's cool. Just always be respectful with each other. Dear God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for every single person of all walks of life who've come through during this stream to talk with me, to enjoy the beautiful art of perfumery, like so much else, like to express creativity that you've given us these gifts. It's time together, any type of community, whether it's in person or digital. I'm just grateful for it all, God. I thank you for my life, my family, my wife, the kids, everything. Thank you this beautiful day I look forward to having with our friends when they come over. And I just pray for your blessing, not just in our life. I already know every day you bless us by just letting us wake up. And I pray for the blessing for everybody who's watching. So again, no matter where they are, what their situation is, I just hope that they get to experience your love and blessing in their life and see how, whatever they feel like is going on, if they feel like they're failing and they feel like they haven't done enough, I just hope they come to know that's not true. Every day is a new opportunity. Every single moment is a new chance to just catch your breath, start over, and turn away from anything that's causing struggles. And even if there's nothing they can do about it, to just realize stuff happens, comes and goes, but they're still here, and that is a gift. So, yeah, I just love you, God. I lift everything up to you in your name, and I love you and I praise you. Amen. So, thank you guys for being here. Like I said, no matter what your circumstances is, I appreciate you. If you're struggling, just understand we all struggle from time to time, and it's never a competition. There's different situations, different people. But I appreciate y'all so much for taking the time to be here. And it's a safe place for anybody who comes through. I just hope you never forget that. Even if we're not talking about fragrances, I just like to have that kind of community. So, what does VR stand for? Virtual reality? Oh, you're not talking to me. Okay, sorry. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Hope y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. If you want to support the channel, other than our wonderful buddy here who took the time to send me $5, like that's so awesome. Like, thank you. I cannot believe that, but I mean that literally. Like, so, oh, real quick, just to announce the thing I was talking about. So this is gonna sound really dumb, but so my channel has had weird spurts of unusual growth. So here's the story of the channel. I started the channel off last July. You said I think it was July 24th or 26th. And again, I was very inspired to start doing something like this just to give you guys my thoughts and stuff. And it was doing like moderately, just like any channel, just barely getting anywhere, but getting something that was cool. It was very exciting. I had no idea what was going to happen. And then some of my videos of certain popular fragrances, like I think Naxos, Mancera's, what was it? Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, Mancera's Instant Crush, stuff like that. Started to do like pretty dang good. And then I started getting an influx of people from certain countries like Middle East, Africa, parts of Europe, like Scotland and stuff like that. I started just having an influx on my statistics of people coming in and subscribing. Like certain videos were getting shared a little bit from what I was told. And then it happened. And I got a lot of like random subscribers. But like a lot of YouTubers will say, people don't always come back through and rewatch. It's really hard to get people to be returning viewers, and that has happened. So I had like just random boosts of subscribers, and then I tried using the YouTube promote button after I hit 100,000 subscribers. I was like, okay, I'm not getting consistent views right now. Maybe they're not seeing stuff. I don't know how it works. In my mind, I was like, if you have a business, using advertisements is normally a good thing. Helps you get some traction. So I did the YouTube promote thing. Turns out that was a horrible idea. Actually demolished. Apparently, it's like a gotcha thing, and really, really wrecked everything. And then a lot of people on my subscriber list who were watchers started saying that they were not even really seeing anything I posted anymore, even when they got notifications turned on. So really bad decision, but I tried it out with a few videos. Honestly, also doesn't even really give you any actual noticeable growth. And so after I did that, though, YouTube stopped crediting my hours that I have. So at this moment, and I can show you guys real quick, this is really funny. So I'm going to show you something, but I want you guys to know how much it means to me. You've been coming through these live streams because it has made the difference. And you guys now going back and watching my videos. So if you see here, throughout my channel's existence since July 26 last year, I have at the corner here 9,165 hours on my analytics. Whereas I'm a YouTube partner now, so I can get, a lot of you guys don't care about this. I'm just letting you know inside stuff. But I am a YouTube partner in the sense that I can get like the super chats and stuff. But even though I have 9,000 and some change hours, YouTube's only giving me credit at this point for 3,893. So I'm still not even getting paid for ads yet, even though they are on my videos. None of you guys probably care about that, but I'm just letting you know YouTube's really fickle, apparently, about letting you have stuff. And so the reason I've started growing all these hours, though, is by streaming with you guys. So you guys watching and talking with me and sharing my stuff has been helping me. So that's 5 days behind, and I'm actually almost at the goal where I'm going to start getting paid for advertisements on my videos. So I just want you to know that after 77 streams and lots of time put in and spending time with you guys, not only has it helped my hours grow, but it's also developed a community where I really get to talk with you guys and appreciate you so much. So I want you to know I'm about to finally get paid for advertisements with all this crap that's going on, and it's because of y'all. So I like being very open and very sincere with you guys. I like actually throwing you guys like everything about what's happening with my channel and what I'm doing, so that it's never like hidden crap and you really get to know me as a person and not just as a guy on a screen. So I want you to know I appreciate you guys excessively much for taking the time to watch and hang out with me, because it has helped me continue to grow. And so I can't believe I'm finally about to hit that point. After all this time, I got a verified silver play button and everything with my channel name on it, and I'm still not getting paid for ads, but I'm finally about to happen because of you guys. So thank you. I just want to say, with that said, please go back and watch my actual videos. They're going to keep getting better. Hit the like button, hit the comment button. It helps a lot. I hate saying that kind of stuff, but it is what you got to do. So appreciate you so much for being here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Just getting started and don't have very much money, so it helps a lot. I think sending videos to YouTube Shorts will get you more views. So here's the thing: YouTube Shorts helps getting YouTube Shorts views, but in reality, and a handful of my buddies who have very successful channels after a long time of grinding, and they do it full time, have also shown me analytically, YouTube Shorts gets you superficial views, superficial subscribers, but it doesn't actually help towards your hour goal at all, and as well, does not really pay you much in any way, shape, or form compared to ads you get from long form videos. So YouTube Shorts is just kind of no better than TikTok. It doesn't really help you as much as it looks like it does. You can get more views quickly from YouTube Shorts, but it doesn't really do you anything in the long stream unless you're getting millions and millions of views. Okay, but I do got to go. So soon I'm going to be altering my streaming schedule. I'm going to be doing probably maybe Tuesday or Wednesday nights, and then like Saturday or Sundays. I'm going to work that schedule out a little bit more in the future. But I am going to be posting every Thursday evening my actual streams going forward. Oh, it's not my streams, my actual videos going forward. So be prepared every Thursday night, Eastern Standard Time, 8 or 9 p.m. for actual fragrance reviews. And I'll let you guys know more when I figure out, starting next week, my real official streaming schedule. So I just want to say again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for helping support the channel. Thank you for being here, helping me grow, because it's a huge accomplishment for me to finally get paid for advertisements, because believe me, 77 streams plus a total of 195 videos. I might not be working full time at this for nothing, but I have been putting a lot of effort in my free time to work at this thing, because it really is a passion for me. So you guys caring and showing your love and support means the world. Thank you. So I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, go check out my other stuff and just show some love. The longer you watch the fragrance review videos, the more the algorithm shows respect to those videos. So with all that pushing myself out of the way, I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys later, and thank you for being here so much. God bless you guys. And shabuki and shabuki.